Welcome everyone to the final day of Activision Blizzard Media's esports tournament, the Agency Showdown. Our second run through the Agency Showdown is finally about to be over, and bringing you all the action is myself, Infinity, joined once again by I Hold Shift on the casting desk. Alan, how are we doing today?
We're pumped, man. We already kind of framed up the last 2 days, what to expect for day number 3. No more search and destroy. It's gunfight. So all you have is you and your random loadout that you're given and the hope that you can find a way to kill all of your opponents. That's all you have to do. It's all you have to worry about. And I think we're going to see some pretty explosive pop-off moments from a number of these players.
Yeah, absolutely. You touch upon our changing formatting that we'll just talk about in a moment. But for those of you who don't know what this tournament is, of course, this is the Agency Showdown. It's a chance for everyone to be fun and social from a distance with everything that's going on in the world. And of course, the champion of this tournament will walk away with not only the glory of Best Agency and an epic trophy, but with some super cool goodies as well. With that out of the way, let's talk about those rules and the formatting changes. You just touched upon the gunfight introduction. Gunfight. We've been playing Search and Destroy the past couple of days. Gunfight's completely different. That objective, it's out of the window. It's gone. We're going to be going straight up 3 versus 3 on much smaller maps too, dedicated entirely to gunfight. The rest is pretty much the same. This is, again, round-based gameplay. It's elimination-based gameplay, and every single game of gunfight will be best of 11, so first to 6. The big difference here, though, with day number 3 is that every match in the semifinals and the finals are all best of 5s to accommodate for the shorter times that come with gunfight.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is that these rounds are much faster, much quicker. You don't have the same 2 minutes. There are 3 different win objectives when it comes down to gunfight. The first, and probably what we're going to see the most, is just flat out eliminate every single one of your opponents that you're playing up against. With this, though, there is no health regeneration. Your standing HP pool is another win condition. If you go to the end of the timer, no team has been fully eliminated, the default winner will be set to the team that has the most overall health. Now, let's say that those health pools are 100% tied. What happens from there? A flag opens up in the middle of the map that you have to capture. If you don't capture that, the round can end in a draw. But those are the 3 win conditions. Either kill all of your opponents, hold more HP than them, or capture the flag at the end of the round.
Yeah, and while you do mention a draw there, it is very unlikely that a draw will happen, of course, because of the
it's
HP.
Not common. Yeah,
it is not common. It's far from common. But it could well happen. Who knows? Maybe these guys just won't touch each other off spawn. We could be entirely wrong about how fast this will go. That being said, guys, let's take a moment to talk about our teams for today. We have 4 left of the starting 16, and this is how our bracket has gone. Our 4 teams. Goats from State Farm. They started off by taking out the Atlanta Phoenix in round number 1, then followed up by taking out Flicker in that quarter-final matchup. They go head-to-head with the Off Patents, who took out 4PM Cleanout in round number 1, followed by KD Conversion Rates in round 2. And on the other side of our bracket, our second semi-final here today, Wrecking Crew, who took out Spark Chicago in game number 1, and then Mindshare in round 2 will be facing Farm Team, who took out the Assistance Assemble roster in that round 1 matchup. And then, of course, as we saw in our last match last night, 7, 8, 9 in the quarterfinals. So those are our 4 teams. Some pretty interesting rosters as well. We've got some great names across the board here. I think every single one of these teams has potential to be top dog at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think you were looking at the individual player of a bag of milk on the left-hand side of the bracket. Can he find a way in this gunfight format to take over a map? I very well think that he very well should and probably could. Beyond that, though, on the opposite side, the 2 teams that we have that are going to be fighting it out in the semifinal on the right-hand side of that bracket are probably the 2 that you're looking at to have the most favor to probably win it all. They have shown that not only individually they scaled, but all 3 players are participating, at least when they were playing Search and Destroy. Of course, everything could change going into this gunfight matchup, but I think expectations are still looking at Wrecking Crew and Farm Team as being 2 of the big heavy favorites to potentially win it all.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about a few of those names there. That we actually asked you guys on Twitter over the last couple of days to talk about which name you thought deserved the title of MVP. And of course, if you want to get involved in any kind of discussion, you can still do so with the hashtag Agency Showdown on Twitter or at the handle Active Bliss Media, and you'll get notified basically on everything that is going on in regard to this championship. So make sure you are following that Twitter again, Active Bliss Media on Twitter. But as I said, we have an MVP award to give out. We asked you guys to vote on it, I believe, yesterday. We gave 24 hours, and I believe we have our MVP for this tournament. It is a bag of milk, currently at 61 total kills, going into our, we'll say, championship day or championship Wednesday, and a very well-deserved MVP award.
Yeah, 100% the case. I mean, he individually carried his team. And I think that, we'll see today if that MVP status will carry him through a potential semifinal into a grand final, maybe even a championship. But yeah, I absolutely 100% agree that when it comes to the definition of what makes a most valuable player, without a bag of milk, this Goats from State Farm team's not here. And in that mind, makes me think that he is absolutely the most valuable player for his team. And with that, yeah, absolutely well-deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, a bag of milk, he has the strongest shoulders in the world because he has carried this team on his back for the last 2 days. I guess, 61 total kills is just an incredible number over the course of what essentially amounts to 4 search and destroy maps, I think, is what they've played so far. That is silly. Average of about 15 kills across the board. That's unheard of, essentially. So very well played there. A bag of milk. Congratulations on your MVP title there at the end of the second Agency Showdown. But of course, the Agency Showdown is not the only competition that we have going on this week. We are just 3 days out from the first day of the Call of Duty League playoffs finals. It is going to be incredible. Just 4 teams remain. If you want to see what the creme de la creme of Call of Duty looks like, if you want to see what the best players in the world are out there playing for, you can do so this weekend. Saturday, August 29th is when the action kicks off as the final 4 teams fight for the lion's share of $4.5 million. And that first match will be taking place on 11 a.m. Pacific time between the London Royal Ravens and the Chicago Huntsmen. I made it pretty clear who I am rooting for in that matchup. I'm pretty sure you can tell by my accent who I'm rooting for.
The Chicago Huntsmen.
Not the Chicago Huntsmen. We don't want the Chicago. I mean, if you guys want the Chicago Huntsmen to win, that's fair enough, but I don't like you anymore. That being said, it's going to be epic. You and I don't be doing anything here, right? Don't be doing it.
I literally have the background of Chicago over the top. That right there is that's Chicago right there. Like,
are you a Chicago man?
I am born, raised, bred in Chicago.
Well,
I will say though that I am absolutely an impartial spectator of Call of Duty and the Call of Duty League.
Yeah.
But I won't lie. I'm not mad about the team that Chicago has and the position they find themselves in right now. I'll say that much.
Oh dear, yeah, absolutely. But I'm not impartial. I'm not going to lie. But it is going to be great, regardless of who wins, right? I mean, the 4 best teams in the world. This is absolutely as they have got to that point at the Atlanta phase and the Dallas Empire as well will be going on an hour after that at 12 p.m. So that's midday Pacific time too. And we spoke about this very briefly yesterday, but these are the 2 best teams in the world. I mean, you talk about the amount of chips they've won this season. I think they are, technically speaking, on top of the pile in terms of that. I could be wrong. Alan's probably going to tell me I'm wrong if I am wrong.
I won't tell you you're wrong. No, I won't tell you you're wrong.
But very, very good teams. And if you guys want to watch Call of Duty action at the highest level, that is the place to be. So Saturday, August 29th, it's going to be great. And Alan and I are going to be there watching it too. So we'll be giving our reactions as and when we can. And of course, you can do that at the Call of Duty League YouTube channel at COD League. So back to our game. It's going to be the Off Patterns versus the Goats from State Farm. First up, what are we saying about this matchup? It's Big Bang, SFH, and Mr. Wobble taking on a Bag of Milk, Notorious, and a Pizza Tattoo. How are you feeling about this one?
My favor, again, leans towards the team that we've seen more participation out of all 3 members, which is unfortunately not the Goats from State Farm. But they do have the MVP. They've got a Bag of Milk who has been incredible. 61 kills that we've seen through 2 rounds. I mean, it's absolutely insane. He's dropping 2.0 KDs almost every single map, if not better. And we saw yesterday that he was kind of going off, doing his own thing, carrying the bomb with him when they were on offense. Now that you're in a gunfight situation, you can go and do it all yourself. That's very, very possible. And honestly speaking, for a lot of teams and players that you see kind of getting into the city circuit, and when you look at like gunfight wagers and things like that, very often there are maps that happen where one player is just carrying the load. The thing about it is, in elongated tournaments, you don't want to rely on one player. This isn't an elongated tournament anymore. You have to win a semifinal and a grand final. He very well could just carry them through the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely he could. Although you do have to be very careful there. Of course, these are best of fives now. You could theoretically have to carry for 10 maps straight to win. It is a hell of a tough achievement to pull off. But pull it off, a Bag of Milk very much might. Of course, we got to see a Bag of Milk & Co. take on Flicker yesterday, and they did it relatively easily. We're kicking things off, though. It's game number 1 here on Gunfight. I believe we're on Docks.
This is Docks, yeah, 100%. And again, these are maps built for 2v2. 3v3, it's chaos. It's absolutely insane. And well, First Blood comes through. That's actually going to be Mr. Wobble, who is just holding an angle and finds the kill. SFH is also pushed through a little bit further forward. And again, reminder, look at the clock up top. As soon as that expires, it'll go down to who has the most overall HP. And that's the unfortunate thing here, Brody. We're going to have to do some math to figure out as we go who has the most HP. Currently, though, easy to figure out as Goats from State Farm are at a deficit.
Yep, Pizza Tattoo even further down now, as although they have the numbers, a Big Bank technically has the HP to work with. You don't really want to push this for your Big Bank. No, what are you doing? No! What? No! You have the HP!
Yeah.
Forget it. Goats from State Farm, they take it by way of just the final kill. A Bag of Milk sits in the corner, picks up the kill. I mean, it was a great play, but in that situation, they're very lucky they didn't have to go searching for it.
Yeah, so again, that flag is going to open up every single round, regardless of the HP pool. But the team that's at the lower HP total is the one that has to go capture it. If you're holding the HP advantage, you do not have to push for the flag capture. So if anyone else is out there watching, make sure you're aware of that. A little bit of a mistake. Goats from State Farm will punish in the first, but the off-pins come back very convincingly in the second round. And again, it is important to mention, we haven't brought it up yet, every 2 rounds, the weapon loadouts will change. So this was our AR rounds to start with the Scar. Now we're going to be on pistols with the Deagles, what looks to be a silencer on top. You've got a smoke and a Molotov in your kit to play with here as well.
And the off patterns here on the defense, looking for First Blood. Unfortunately for them, it's Goats from State Farm who take it. A lovely headshot from Notorious, takes down Mr. Wobble. And already, of course, Big Bank losing half his HP is going to put him down to 46. Immediately, Goats from State Farm, they have the advantage here. Now it's a question of, well, are they just going to sit and wait? As Big Bank and SFH. I mean, they're waiting at the back of the map here, to be honest. I don't know if this is the right play, though. Goats from State Farm, they have the HP advantage. It is Big Bang and SFH that need to force the issue. That overflag time becomes available. And now, SFH, you've got to jump on that flag. You just can't just sit here in the top. It's not going to work out for you. As he gets tagged up, the timer flicks over. And the Goats from State Farm don't even have to move that much to take round number 3.
I just realized we added little custom logos for the teams, and
yeah,
I cannot explain how happy I am to see these logos. These are so clever. I love it. I'm absolutely in love with them. Although there they are, Goats from State Farm in the offense, beautiful stuff. Big Bank, speaking of beautiful things, able to connect with one headshot up close and personal. He's going to catch one more on the side. Now it's just down to Notorious, and the rest of the 2 teammates for the off-pads will find and clean him up. So both of our AR rounds are down. Both of our pistol rounds are down. There are no LMG or sniper rifle claps, so we'll have shotguns, which is what we're going to get this round, SMGs and marksman rifles, and this is what I was talking about at the end of the broadcast yesterday. Sure, you've got a shotgun round here, but the pistols are typically what we see more of in these rounds, though Mr. Wobble, he'll punish with the Origin. That'll be First Blood.
And it does for sure seem like a Bag of Milk is struggling in these early 3 rounds, right? He is definitely one of the better performing players in the lobby, but yet still, we're not seeing that same kind of go-off performance that we saw in the Search and Destroy rounds. And immediately here, as a Bag of Milk is down, a Pizza Tattoo down as well, Notorious left up in a 1 versus 2. Doesn't have the HP advantage to work with, only 21 in the bank. Gonna have to go for that overflag time, or the kills. Isn't even gonna get an option as player from State Farm takes him down. Or the off pattern, sorry, and Mr. Wobble are going to be responsible for that.
Here's my follow-up point here for a bag of milk. You know, with Search and Destroy 3v3, the maps are going to feel bigger. You can run around and you'll be mostly okay. But when you are in gunfights, smaller maps, you do not have the ability just to run around. You have to be patient. So we'll see if he could kind of find a way to emphasize that virtue as we move forward into round number 6. Pizza Tattoo, you'll read a player over in the top side of green. We do have a 3v2 situation, but SFH and Mr. Wobble are both full HP. So with 12 seconds remaining, you have to make a decision, and a bag of milk will go find another kill. Now the pistol for Pizza Tattoo will tag up Mr. Wobble. He's going to have to play for the flag.
Goes from State Farm, looking for the round. One player left up. Pretty easy stuff. Again, from the Goats from State Farm, and the last shot going around, the Origin 12 proves true for a notorious easy pick.
Easy peasy, no problem. Now we go to our SMGs. Uzi's in the mix.
Ooh.
No stock on it. Again, it's not just the weapons that'll rotate, it's also the attachments that come with it. Yes, they'll stay with the same attachments from one round to the second, but as far as what they initially bring, it is a bit random. So Big Bank able to capitalize for first blood. Bag of milk, you can see he is playing much more patiently this time, but with his teammate tagged up already and everybody on the opposite side still at full HP, this is going to be the epitome of what needs to be a perfect 1v3 situation. 10 seconds till the flag pops.
And a bag of milk has surely going stunned. Not going to happen, actually. Mr. Wobble gets some shots tagged into him. 3 seconds left here before that overtime flag appears, and there it is. But a bag of milk definitely does not have the HP advantage in this situation. Stuck in a corner. The off patterns have him there like an animal to the slaughter. One from State Farm, it would seem, as the off patterns. So take round number 7.
Yeah, so just again, if you're unfamiliar with gunfight, the flag pops up, and then there is a 10-second grace period to start capturing it. You don't have to fully capture it in those 10 seconds. If you even put a little bit of progress on it, it'll stall the flag for a bit. So just keep that in mind. Off patents starting to really kind of turn up here. 7 kills for Big Bank, 6 for Mr. Wobble. SFH participating with 2. Bag of milk once again left with the 1v3, but all of his opponents are pretty low. So this is very doable. 13 seconds until the flag will open up. He's got a decoy grenade to play with, which you don't anticipate will cause much deterrence. Sees a player down low, able to gun him, still 75 HP. Now changes up the angle, goes back up top, but chasing right behind him was another member from the off-pan, so that'll be round number 5 secured for our team in red.
And only one more round now for the off patterns to crush a bag of milk in game number 1. We asked the question, can a bag of milk come out and carry here on day number 3 with the game mode changed up to gunfight? The answer, not yet, it would seem. Now marksman rifles coming out, and there it is. The first couple of kills going the way of Mr. Wobble and Big Bank. They seem to know how to deal with Notorious and a Pizza Tattoo pretty much straight away. I don't necessarily think those players have the patience that a bag of milk does, but that patience, oh, a snap. Not gonna matter though. The off patents, they take the rounds necessary. 3 rounds straight at the end of that one, and they're through to, well, I guess 1-0 up in the series.
Yeah, that was a beautiful little snap. I was about to say, you know, when you've got those marksman rifles, that is another one of those instances that you could very well, pardon me, my light is blinding my setup right now. Looked like I was about to be ascended through the gates of heaven or something. No, the marksman rifles, they can come with different secondaries. There are some times where the secondary is actually an SMG. That time it was a Model 680 shotgun, which does pack a punch. So if you're not feeling confident in your ability to hit your kind of MK2 shots or your EBR shots, whatever it happens to be, which for me, I'm not very confident with my marksman rifles, you can still pull out those secondaries and still find some favor. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the loadouts go. That's the most exciting thing, I think, for me when I watch through these gunfights is, what are we going to get? And can these players hold on to it? So a nice little snap-on there at the end, but unfortunately not enough to get the Goats from State Farm back into the game. So 1 map advantage so far for the off-pens.
Yeah, and as we go into game 2, I think there definitely needs to be a changing strategy for the Goats from State Farm, to be honest with you. I know that we talked about the fact that Notorious and a Pizza Tattoo didn't quite seem to have the same level of ability as a bag of milk, and that definitely showed in the way that they were playing gunfight. They were just running at the opposition, right? They died like straight away so many times. They left a bag of milk in a ton of 1 versus 3 scenarios, and in gunfight, that's not easy to win because you do not regen your health like at all. You get chipped, you're down to that HP no matter what happens. So 1 versus 3 could be incredibly hard to pull off. and Bag of Milk isn't going to be able to do it. They need to change that.
The other thing to keep in mind, though, is that not only do your weapons change, but also your utility changes. So sometimes you'll have a Semtex, sometimes you'll have a frag grenade, sometimes you'll have C4. But for your tactical utilities, sometimes you do get stim shots, which can bring you back up to 100 HP. You get 2 charges of that when that's in your kit. We won't have this here. It's going to be what looks to be Growls to start things off for us in this round, with pistols as our secondary, and then we have concussions and frag grenades to play with. And we're going to be moving over to Stack as our map. It's got a nice big central platform in which the flag will spawn in that cargo container. So keep that in mind as the map goes on. And friendly fire is also still on. A Pizza Tattoo unfortunately takes down what has been the hard carry and the MVP of a Bag of Milk.
Why? Why do you do that? A Pizza Tattoo left up in a 1 versus 2. That ain't happening. The off patterns using that advantage pretty well. And this is the other thing about Stack as a map, right? You do have these just bags of sand that you can just heady on. You can just get up there with your gun. It's very, very easy to get kills off the back of it too if you utilize it correctly. And well, the off patterns starting this one 1-0 up, and there is the leaning once again as Mr. Wobble making use of the lines of sight. Notorious down beautiful. For the count. He's not leaning. Big Bang throwing out a lovely nade. It does land. Takes down a Bag of Milk down to 31 HP, but not before Big Bang is going to fall. So a 2 versus 2 situation. SFH, the closest player. Did I just see a Pizza Tattoo come in right behind a Bag of Milk and try to kill him again?
It looked that way. I mean, again, when you're concussed, all of the information on your face-up HUD is not there. So teammate tags, colors, they're not going to necessarily be there. And it looks like the off-patents are just going to go ahead and put themselves right on top of the flag, control the middle of the map, and that'll be enough for them to secure the second round. Again, that is our AR round gone. So coming up next, we're going to get pistols once again. It looks to be the X16 with the GI reflex scope. And you've got throwing knives, so careful here. Those are 1 hit for a kill if you do connect.
And those pistol shots coming in. Oh, lovely. From a Bag of Milk, of course. The problem for a Bag of Milk is that he's now on 39 HP. SFH has 100. He needs Notorious to help out here, but there's the free aim. There's the free fire. It doesn't happen, but trade comes in. There it is. Notorious closes up shop for that round, and Goats from State Farm are on the board.
Oh boy, okay. The pistols seem to be doing pretty well for a Bag of Milk and the rest of his squad mates. Notorious playing well. 2 kills already. Not bad through 3 rounds. 1 more round of the pistols. The off-pens are stacking together. You see their strategy is just to essentially group up and wolf pack. It definitely works well, especially in pistol and shotgun rounds where you want to be able to find combined damage, team shots, and as well, just make sure you're getting trades as one does immediately come through. 2v2 we go. 120 total HP, though, for Goats from State Farm to the 150 of the off-pens. So again, Goats from State Farm, you need to secure some damage or play for the flag in the next 8 seconds.
And very reserved right now are our Goats from State Farm. The off-patterns, technically speaking, can just run to this flag. I don't think anybody from Goats from State Farm is watching it. But there it is. A Bag of Milk swings out, gets the first few shots in, looking for some more. Mr. Wobble is going to have to go. Bag of Milk doesn't have the HP. You've got to go for this fight and doesn't do it. He gets killed in the end anyway. And that's what you get for playing reserve. The off-patterns punish aptly. Mr. Wobble, yet again, having a great performance in this one.
Yeah, that's tough right there. I mean, he has to make the play at 20 HP. You thought for a second that he might have an angle to get over to the flag, but not the case. This is actually the loadout that we had from the last game in the closing rounds. Nice shot again from a Bag of Milk. Got the Model 680 in your back pocket in case you want it. Also, frag grenades and flashes are the utility, but a Bag of Milk is looking good with the MK2, so why not hold on to the marksman rifle?
This MK2 is literally a one-shot, right? So if you hit it, you can kill him in 1. At least I think from the chest upwards, it is a one-shot. So this could be huge as a Bag of Milk continues to hold this line of sight. Of course, Goats from State Farm haven't even taken any damage thus far in this round. The first 2 shots go in. A Bag of Milk is there, isn't able to get the second, putting 2 or 3 shots in. None of them going to connect, but the good thing for a Bag of Milk is he has a full line of sight on this overtime flag, hits the shots. An ace for a Bag of Milk, and the Goats from State Farm here get another round on the board.
Yeah, good stuff here. But is it only the marksman rifles that you can find favor with? You know what I mean? Like, that's... there's so many little things that can happen conversationally when it comes down to what's your loadout look like. Is it just he's an MK2 specialist? This time he's going to be head glitched a little bit on the left stairs. Tosses a nice grenade over the top, but somehow does not connect for any damage. So still 300 full HP coming through. Mr. Wobble, he's going to punish a Bag of Milk for not repositioning. And now we've got a 3v2. And a Pizza Tattoo also tagged up heavily by a frag grenade.
The HP on the Goats from State Farm side right now is not looking tasty at all as the off patterns, I mean, with a barrage of nades there, seem to have done the majority of damage in that round. They knew where the Goats from State Farm were hiding. The off patterns able to work with that very nicely. And now we move forward in this one as the off patterns are now 4-2 up. We go over to the PP Bisons. First few shots go in. A Bag of Milk already down 15 HP. That nade again lands right in the face of a Bag of Milk. Elsewhere, the Big Bank is able to bank up on a Pizza Tattoo. And now it's Notorious down with 100 HP. Has to pull off a 1 versus 3 clutch. Does get the first kill. 2 more still to come. And at least now he has made Big Bank and Mr. Wobble a little bit apprehensive with that first kill.
Mounted up as Notorious. Tough angle. As again, it's just, as soon as the off-pens are getting an advantage, you can see what they're doing. They're taking away the middle of the map. It's beautifully well done. You know that you have to essentially force someone to come into your line of sight to try to play for the flag, and it's done well for them. So 5-2 up. Looking for round number 6. It's going to be one more round of the Bison. And you can see a Bag of Milk. He is sitting here trying to find some opening kills, but it's just not turning up their favor. You also, again, remember, have Stim Shot available, so you're hoping that you just kind of peek. Maybe you get tagged a little bit. You just heal right back up. Notorious is down to 46 HP. I don't think he realizes that he's got a Stim Shot as his tactical ability.
No, that Stim Shot is actually so helpful. Mr. Wobble didn't realize it, but it was a little bit too late anyway. You feel Big Bang gets the shots through the post onto Notorious DTG. And there is the Stim Shot from a Bag of Milk. So now up to 100 HP, but still has 2 players that are also on that HP level to work with. The problem is he's the player that has to go for this. Does do it. Second Stim Shot comes in. Knows where that player is. Going to get in. Does he get the kill in time? I think he did. Yeah. A beautiful clutch there from a Bag of Milk. Gets a 1 versus 2. Very well done.
Yeah, I'm not sure at this point if the off-pens realize that if the flag is not captured at the end, if you have the more HP, you're going to win the round. It just seems like so often they just keep trying to play for the objective. So that's something that we're going to keep in mind if they do get through this Goats from State Farm squad and make it into the grand finals. No Stim Shot here. It's a 725. This is a shotgun, but I believe it has the slug round modifiers with a little bit of a sniper optic, so it will hit at a very long range.
Goats from State Farm have players pushed all the way up here. They want control of the overtime flag if it does come to it. There's a player pushing for the challenge, and there it is from Mr. Wobble. Bag of Milk going for the 725 play, misses both shots, now resorting to the pistol, gets the kill. A killing spree here for a Bag of Milk who has turned up in game number 2. That overtime flag is available. Goats from State Farm, you've got to go for it. You cannot settle for a second best here at SFH. Playing the advantage so well. Has the 725 to work with, and the off patterns take the round and game number 2 despite a 12-4 performance from a Bag of Milk.
Yeah, really good stuff. 2 maps up. Most of them convincing. I would say outside of the marksman rifle rounds, everything has gone the way of the off-pads, which is good news. I mean, hey, if you're winning pistols, you're winning ARs, you're winning SMGs, and everything else besides the marksman, you're going to be feeling pretty good moving forward. And up 2 maps, you're going to have some room to play with here. I'm not 100% sure as far as what our map set playlist looks like, but if it's as anticipated, which would be the core maps that we had from launch, we've already seen Docks, we've already seen Stack. You still have maps like Speedball, King, Pine that we could potentially play through. Speedball, I think, is most people's favorites, but it's one that I would say is going to feel the smallest in 3v3 because there's very little cover. The cover that you have in front of you is all wall bangable as well for the most part. So yeah, it's very, very dangerous when you start adding more players to it. On the other side, you also have maps like Pine, which are much more wide open, but filled with a ton of trees and woods and foliage. The map is named Pine. It should give you some sort of an idea that it's set into a forest. So it could be a little bit more difficult to track down where players have gone to. So a couple of different things to kind of keep in mind as we're looking forward to what very well could be our 3rd, 4th, and 5th map.
Yeah, the off pattern's now 2-0 up in this one. Remember, folks, this is a best of 5. So this could very well be done here in map number 3. Whatever that map is, again, we may just be looking at our base set of maps. I believe there is a couple of DLC maps they could also add in. I think Hill is a base map as well, right?
not usually.
It wasn't in the alpha.
Yeah, it's not usually in wagers or other gunfight tournaments. But it was the most recent one added after the core map, so it very well could be in play. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be completely honest with you. But I'll just go ahead and say it. I hate Hill. I absolutely cannot stand.
I will die on this.
My least favorite gunfight map by far. Even with the ones that have been added, I cannot stand Hill. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
Hill. I feel like this might just be one of those situations where Hill is blatantly a map designed for what we'll say is more skilled players.
No, you're wrong. No,
you just don't make that cut, Alan. It's fine.
No. Nope.
1v1 me on Hill. Although, saying that, as a memes aside, they added Rust. So if we could get some 3v3 Rust gameplay on Gunfight, that would be elite. Please, guys, put it in the game modes. We'd love it. But no, Hill is an incredible map, and I want to see it without a shadow of a doubt. Not my favorite, I will say. Obviously, Speedball takes the cake for that just because of how good Speedball is as a map. It's just so well designed. There's a ton of places to hide. But at the same time, it's not so like OP to the point where you can just use those places to camp and get the kills. Like you can check those places pretty easily without being punished. But on the other hand as well, that's not to say King and Pine are bad maps. Like I'd probably say Pine is my second favorite. To be honest,
are just so wrong. That's my second least favorite, dude. Hill and Pine.
I love Pine.
Oh my god,
Pine is just very well designed.
No, right? You're just wrong. I don't know how to tell you this.
I love it.
You're just not, just wrong.
So what's your second favorite then?
So Speedball's my favorite. Dox is my second favorite.
Oh god.
No, what, dude? My tier list is Speedball, Dox, Stack,
right,
King, Pine Hill.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yours is the opposite, isn't it?
Basically.
We're meant for each other. Opposites attract. We're meant for each other.
If we get Hill, I'm going to be enjoying it. You're going to be hating it. I mean, that's not to say I'm not going to be enjoying. I am going to be enjoying, I should say, everybody else or every other map here in the game mode. Speedball is still my favorite by far and away. I love
Speedball's
so much.
So cool, man. It's just
that's like
it's
a general consensus, right? I mean, I remember when we did what was it? We did a Speedball CTF game, I think it was. We were like the end of CCL, and it was just. Oh, pistachio.
Yeah, that was the All-Star game that we ran on CTF 5v5 Speedball CTF. You want to see madness? Oh, man. That was madness.
So, oh my god. I think it's fair to say Pistachio got suboptimal numbers with the AR. Albeit he did have an AR in Speedball. It's probably not the best weapon to be running in a map like that. Regardless,
your favorite.
Best of 5. It's my favorite. I'm rubbing my hands together like an evil villain from a Bond movie. It's time for Pine, and we're starting on board with apparently a 2 versus 3. I'm pretty sure we'll rectify this any second now. We probably won't be starting just yet, so apologies for this, guys. Apparently one of the players didn't want to spawn in, which is sad. He just didn't want it. He doesn't want it enough.
Well, so apparently, I guess the team thought that it was only a best of 3, so they thought that they were defeated. But now a little bit of extra life, quite literally, put into the lungs of this Goats from State Farm squad. So we'll see what they have to offer for Pine. Now, we talked about it kind of briefly, but just to break down the map more specifically, as we saw that little glance at it, very much so covered in foliage. A lot of bushes, a couple of wood stacks that can serve as cover, but you also have 2 big kind of outposts that are put on opposite sides that kind of look over everything. And for as good of a position that you could find yourself in by taking that high ground, at the same point, you're also extremely vulnerable because you are at the only spot that is purely visible from every single part of the map. So there's a little bit of negotiation that has to happen as far as, do we want to just keep ourselves on the low ground, push up the sides, try to get closer to the middle of the map, or do we want to try to take up those kind of big towers and try to rain down some bullets from above? It's a kind of conversation that can lead to, obviously, success or defeat, depending on how things kind of unfold. But it's also one of those that, at the higher levels, especially with 3v3s, you need to be searching for information off of your utility. using your stuns and your frags to see if you can get hit marker connections to know exactly where you want to go. Looks like we're going to get M4s for a starting loadout with a toggled optic. And as Bag of Milk found first blood, he will be traded. Pizza Tattoo able to find a little bit of damage, though, so a health pool advantage for the goats from State Farm.
And I will admit, right, I mean, this is probably the map in Gunfight most. I think this applies kind of to Gunfight generally speaking. You need to be using the lean feature. Like, the lean feature is so powerful in a map like this, where every single line of sight is one that could potentially be a danger to you. And, well, we saw at the start, Bag of Milk falling foul to exactly that. But we do have Mr. Wobble here with the health advantage, so it is on the notorious player to jump on that overtime flag. Doesn't happen. Unfortunately, no capture. No bueno for him as Mr. Wobble takes final play.
Well, we'll see how things kind of move forward from here. Again, this is a very favorable loadout, I imagine, for most players. You got your hybrid scope, you got an M4 with what looks to be a Grenadier barrel. It's going to shoot pretty darn straight. And Mr. Wobble, who was our AN94 player from yesterday, this is a great angle from Bag of Milk. He reads that beautifully. But to say, we were wondering if Mr. Wobble would be able to handle more weapons. So far, he's been good here. 3-0 start. And the Bag of Milk and Pizza Tattoo have to find a way to work themselves from a small health deficit. Again, the stuns do connect for a bit of HP, which is why you're seeing both Milk and Pizza Tattoo at 98 health.
Yeah, it does. So, technically speaking, at a disadvantage at the moment, a Bag of Milk and a Pizza Tattoo, and they therefore need to jump on that overtime flag. They're taking their time with it, though. There's a kill, and that changes things significantly as SFH doesn't have the HP advantage anymore. A brilliant kill there to completely flip the situation, and I was going to criticize them for not making the move towards the overtime flag, but actually, I think it might have been their plan just to go for that final kill instead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of discussion here. Again, if there are other teams that are out there watching, if you've got a health pool advantage, you don't have to capture the flag. You can just wait for your opponents to try to make the play for it. Bag of Milk, I say we've got actually a rogue VLK shotgun, which is kind of like the R9 in the same drawback style. It's got a little bit of a hybrid rate of fire where it's not quite as fast as the double punch, but it does hit pretty hard. So anticipate to see these pistols come out early, and then if the push through comes into the flag, likely you'll see those rogues come out, but it'll be the Renetti that gets the job done for Mr. Wobble to secure the first set of this shotgun round.
2-1 now to the off patterns with this aggression from a Bag of Milk with a VLK rogue. Going to throw a stun out, unfortunately not going to connect with all that much. Bag of Milk going to have to dip underneath the main crate in mid-map as Mr. Wobble lands a Semtex at the feet of a Pizza Tattoo. Goes from State Farm, far from having the health advantage in this one. The off-patterns have 275 health between them. Notorious just 24 now as the shot's going down. Notorious, I mean, this would be one hell of a clutch if we did get to see it, as the off-patterns surely going to win, and they do. A 3-1 advantage now.
It's that Wolfpack mentality. Everyone's just stacking up on top of each other. They're all challenging the same angles. Something that was kind of a key takeaway terminology from the Black Ops 4 year was team shooting, trying to get multiple people to shoot at the same person. That is a very stapled strategy in a game like Gunfight here in Modern Warfare. Is now we're going to get our SMG rounds, and it's MP5. So this Pine map has been blessed for all 6 players when it comes to using weapons in the rotation that I'm sure most are very familiar with.
Indeed, it's a Ghost from State Farm. Now looking to get an advantage in this one. Fortunately, unable to get it so far. Big Bang going to draw first blood against Notorious, but I suppose you do see a Pizza Tattoo doing some damage to a couple of players on board right now. But still, as a Pizza Tattoo falls, I mean, I was about to say, goes from State Farm, they could pick up a kill and make this possible situation, but with 5 seconds before that overtime flag disappears, a Bag of Milk just has so much to do. Just get one kill. Just get one kill. Oh, unfortunately, he has shots put into him. It would be an incredible clutch, but it doesn't.
No, it was a clutch. He gets 2 kills, and the off-patents... Oh, wait, no, maybe he doesn't. Wait. Did the round end before he got that final kill?
So what happened was he got the kill, but Big Bang was able to put shots into him. So he was
I thought for a second he did enough. I was sitting there like, wait a second here, Brody, you got the kill. I didn't really get a chance to see where the clock was at, but man, he nearly almost does it. So 4-1 to tally, a tough round, and now some nades are making life extra difficult here from Goats from State Farm, as a couple of them have been hit down to below 50 HP. And the off-pens, again, can just sit back in their spawn, wait for the play for the flag to come through, and just make sure you don't give away any damage.
That's the plan here for the off-patents, and it seems to have been the plan for pretty much every single gunfight round so far. I mean, a bag of milk is able to touch some long-range shots in with that pistol, but to be honest with you, Goats from State Farm here, they're not in a good position. They need to go for that overtime flag, and they have done. You see Mr. Wobble, though, he's there, picks up two. A bag of milk is ready for a clutch situation. Now makes it a one-on-one. He could secure this flag, and he gets the clutch. The Goats from State Farm win another round. A bag of milk has the ice.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here to find the 2 kills, and then he just sneaks on forward. He doesn't have a lot of ammunition left, so he has to go to the pistol, but never gets challenged. Just a really heads-up play to make a play for the flag. So now we get into our actual pistol round here, 2-4 the current tally. And this looks like a pretty default weapon, no attachments on it. You've got a Molotov and a concussion to play with in your back pocket.
Bag of milk slowly looking for these kills here. He knows players right in front of him, looking for it, and finds the angle. Unfortunately, can't find the shots, does in the end, and actually manages to get away without a single scratch taken upon him, and now taking shots elsewhere as well. That's Big Bang, who's reduced down to 68 HP. A stun thrown out of the bag of milk, and both him and a Pizza Tattoo now reduced down to 98. They've got to be careful. A player is in mid. Big Bang is on about overtime flag. No stress for all the Goats from State Farm. They seem to have stabilized somewhat in the past 2 rounds.
Yeah, Bag of Milk is really handling these pistols beautifully. It's the M19, which does pack a little bit of a heavier punch than the X16, whatever the default one is. I forget the number. But yeah, it's going to hit a little bit harder, and he's 9-3. We talked about his potential to maybe carry his team through it. He's done pretty much just that in a couple of different rounds. As he'll try to look for some information off the concussion, nothing going to be there. Molotov over the rock also likely will not connect for much. 20 seconds to play, and it's a dead even draw as far as the health pools are concerned.
Goes from State Farm. They seem to have been pushed right back into their spawn. No advancement on the minimap, but there it is again. A bag of milk is just landing these shots with this pistol. A headshot onto Mr. Wobble is a very clean kill and a 49 HP advantage. Now, bag of milk, stop with these headshots. It's incredible play. And now he could get a triple as there's one right in front of him. A third headshot. A bag of milk with a flawless headshot round here as the Goats from State Farm tie this one up at 4-4.
Yeah, he's really good. Like, we saw that, you know, when we were watching the Search and Destroy, that he was trying to do everything himself. But now that we're in gunfight, that prowess that he carries mechanically is really showing up. Nice shots from Mr. Wobble as Notorious was just barely peeking through some tall grass. 12 kills already for Bag of Milk, a lot of it coming in the last 2. And he gets the same loadout for the marksman rifles that he looked good into the first 2 maps. So, can he find a way to clutch things up? No, Mr. Wobble. He checks the correct angle, takes down the raid boss, and now it's just down to Pizza Tattoo. 34 HP, not going to be enough to get things done. And the off-pens, once again, putting themselves not just on map point, but this is semifinal match point as well.
We could have an agent on our hands here. I think a Pizza Tattoo 0-6 right now. They lose this round. He dies without getting a kill. It's 0-7, and we have another James Bond on our hands. The off-patents just need one round to go through to the finals here. Well, they'll face either the Wrecking Crew or the Farm team in a gunfight setting. A nade goes out for a bag of milk. Unfortunately, isn't going to land. They actually receive some nades here, the Goats from State Farm. And again, none of them going to connect. I think neither team at this point in time really comfortable with being the one that gets to peek out. Of course, that is a massive, massive disadvantage in Call of Duty here on Gunfight, at least. Slow and steady wins the race, and there it is. The off-patents. They draw first blood. Mr. Wobble takes down Notorious. It's a bag of milk versus a Pizza Tattoo to clutch up.
Tough scene right here. 5 seconds. Flag is going to have to be touched on. He's going to go for the kills. It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's a tough decision to make. You know that you've got the off-pads looking down this cargo container area. And wow, it's actually brilliant shots from Mr. Wobble. Again, the MK2 will one-tap at pretty close range as long as it hits center mass. You don't have to hit a headshot. But I think overall, we saw an MVP-style performance again from Bag of Milk. The problem was he just didn't have enough supporting cast around him to get through the power that is a full squad in this off-pad squad. So, first grand finals has been established. A relatively clean 3 maps from them to get there. looking like they very well could aid in trying to possibly get to that finish line. This comes down to who they have to play up against next, because this matchup is going to be a really interesting one between Wrecking Crew and Farm Team. Farm Squad, Farm Team. Couldn't remember.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting, of course, because these are the two teams that you thought were going to... Well, one of these two teams is going to win it, right? I mean, this is what you kind of theorized since day one. You kind of said...
They look the
teams.
best, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and there is good reason for that, right? You've got Caltron and Calsfly together. I'm not too convinced of Pac-22 just yet. He's had his moments, but if I was to pick the weaker player on this Wrecking Crew roster, it would be him. And on the farm team, we've got Sean, Nelson, B-Man, and Beaumont. And that was the day one lineup. For day two, Beaumont was replaced with Hendrix. I'm not sure who will be in the lineup today,
good call.
at least. If it's Hendrix, I think you're probably in a better position, to be honest. I was actually kind of impressed with what we saw from Hendrix in day number 2. That being said, here's what our bracket looks like, folks. The off-patents, they're there. They're in the final. They've won a 3-0 gunfight victory against the GOATs from State Farm, a performance that was a statement, I would say, against a team that have looked very, very against the Bag of Milk, a player that has also looked incredible, and the off-pants already through to that final. And again, now they wait to see who from the Wrecking Crew and farm team will fall in gunfight.
Yeah, no, it's going to be so interesting, I think, just to see how these teams are going to play gunfight as a squad, because these two teams were, I would say, showing the most amount of coordination and communication with one another in the search and destroy, premeditating where they're going to be hitting these bomb sites on attack, how they're going to be retaking, how they're hitting the different angles at the middle of the map, stuff like that. Gunfight is totally different, but there is still a necessary level of communication and coordination that you need to be successful as a team, especially when there is a third player on what is normally a 2v2 map type. So I'm interested. This is going to be, I think, a Goliath v. Goliath storyline. No Davids in this one, like maybe we would have anticipated from GOATs from State Farm. These are, I think, my two favorites coming in. Winner of it, like you had mentioned, like I had mentioned, I think wins the tournament. But everything changes in gunfight, and we just saw a pretty clean performance from the off-pens. So, yeah, it's going to provide for a very interesting second semi, and I think an even more interesting grand final.
Yeah, that is for sure. This is going to be a super interesting matchup between these two teams. I can't call it. I'll be honest. I think for most of these matchups, at least I've had an inkling as to who I think is going to walk away as victors. I mean, for all we know here, Sean Nelson could just come out and just blow the socks off the Wrecking Crew. And similarly as well, Caltron and Calsfly together, the Cow duo for this team, this farm team. They have just looked, the Wrecking Crew have just looked so good. One thing I would say as well, I still think it's important to note, I find it hilariously ironic that we have Caltron and Calsfly together, and they're not on the farm team. All the GOATs from State Farm. Why? Who did this to us?
Yeah.
It's not right. It doesn't sit right with me.
The status quo has not been met. I feel it's one of those
there's nothing that says Wrecking Crew to me in Caltron and Cows Fly together. Could these teams switch names?
I know.
Because that would make more sense.
I'm saying absolutely should be that way. Absolutely should be.
I'm disgusted, guys.
Well, we'll see what we get. I mean, we have not seen King yet be played as a map. We also have not seen Speedball be played yet as a map. I'm not sure if the teams are picking maps or if they're, again, kind of predetermined as far as where we're going to be kind of starting off the set. If it is the case, that would mean that Docs would be up first. So we'll kind of have to wait and see what we get. But yeah, I think that we're going to see some really interesting moments, I think, coming forward in this matchup. Probably, I would argue, this will likely be some of the highest level of coordination we'll see all weekend is in this matchup between these two squads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that I think the off-pants are necessarily a bad team or a worse team. That being said, I think the way I could put this was, I think whoever wins this match is going to win the agency showdown. That's how I see it. And that's not to write off the off-patents. They could absolutely come out and surprise the Wrecking Crew or farm team. I just think from what I've seen so far, the Wrecking Crew particularly look like they know what they're doing. One of the things we spoke about, although it was kind of related to Search and Destroy, I do still think it can carry over to Gunfight, as we saw with a Bag of Milk in that last match, right? Which is the awareness to know where to go on the map, to know where you're going to find these kills before those opportunities pop up. And that, to me, was the difference for Wrecking Crew in the first couple of days of Search and Destroy play. And that will carry over to gunfight. And I think Farm Team have that as well. Sean Nelson, his shots are probably the best I think I've seen across the board this agency showdown. I don't know if the awareness is there as much. I still think they're relying on just those individual engagements, but we'll see, because that's all that gunfight is about, right? I mean, the objective is no longer here. It does just come down to those gunfights.
Yeah, very much so the case. It can be a lot of who sees who's first, but I think more importantly, you have to put yourself in good positions. We saw, again, early on in our first map of Docks from a bag of milk, he tried to still kind of run around and kill, right? That didn't work out. He was getting not necessarily blooded, but he wasn't finding a lot of value all the time because you were just holding angles. He runs right into your line of sight. You get the kill. You have to be very dictated about how you're trying to clear up angles. It almost feels like borderline like CSGO style, where you're using your utility just to clear out some space before you take that area. So we'll see how things kind of come together. Are we going to see these teams kind of running at each other, or are they going to be more patient in kind of what we saw from Bag of Milk after he adjusted from those first handful of rounds on Docks? It's a lot of things that could come through. It's just a matter of time. And again, we are just waiting on the lobby to get populated so we can jump in to see exactly what unfolds.
Yeah. You know what question I'm going to ask you today, Alan? You know what I'm going to ask you?
Tell me.
What did you have for breakfast today?
I didn't clean up my room. I had some yogurt with granola, strawberries, and blueberries. Yeah, I haven't cleaned up my room yet. Yeah, it was delicious.
That is the healthiest breakfast I think anyone has ever come out with.
You got to remember that I'm not a young buck anymore like you, Brody. I gotta be very health conscious if I want to try to stay somewhat energized throughout the day. I can't do like, what I want to do is like a huge Belgian waffle with sausage, bacon, eggs, and toast. But if I did that, I would take like a 6-hour nap.
No. Hold on. Did you just say waffle with eggs and bacon?
Not on top, but in tandem.
In the same plate.
Well, like,
or are you saying in smaller plates? Right?
Like little smaller plates. Yeah, you've got your Belgian waffle, which takes up an entire plate, and then you've got your.
I'll let you off.
Your side plate.
I'll let you off. I thought for a second there you were going to recommend to me some waffles topped with some ice cream or some rubbish, and then bacon just laden in the top of the ice cream.
I can't do the whole chicken and waffles thing like they do here in the South. I think it's disgusting, personally. I was like, nothing about that sounds good. Right. Yeah, nothing about that sounds good.
Well, I didn't have a healthy breakfast this morning. I had some toast with some bacon, some sausages, and some eggs. And that right there is the true health of a Brit over here on this side of the pond. That being said, folks, we have our semi-final underway. It's the Wrecking Crew taking on the Farm Team. And right now, it is going to be the Farm Team with the advantage early on. A very early game. Lovely start from them. A clean one at that.
Yeah, and you can see, look how far forward Sean is getting. He's just pushing right through, throwing caution to the wind. Yeah, that's very ambitious for him. We'll see if that continues. But again, you also have pistols to keep in mind. Not necessarily are you looking at a world where you can sit at long range and get confirmed kills. There is so much that could still go wrong. So as soon as you find a little bit of information or a little bit of value off the kills, or damage rather, you can push forward to secure those kills. So now we take a look as the shooters on the opposite foot. Wrecking Crew have a small health advantage, and now as cows fly together to take down Sean, they also have a numbers advantage to play with as well.
This is big here from Wrecking Crew. They get those first few kills under their belt. Hendricks now left up with 63 HP to work with. A 1 versus 3. That's 3 targets and gets the first. And now, technically speaking, isn't in that bad of a position. He gets his first kill on the flag. This would be huge. Gets number 1, but you've got to get him off the flag. He reloads before he goes to the fight. It doesn't work out. If you would have just pre-aimed. Come on, man. I know it's a Call of Duty thing to just reload whenever you want. I do it too, but not then. Not then.
Yeah, that's tough. That's really, really tough. The timing of that play, obviously not quite what it needed to be. But here we go, 7.25 shotguns, but you can see Wrecking Crew mostly defaulting to pistols. Does not look like that 7.25 has the slug shot or scope on it, so if that does come out to play, it'll be late in this round. Packed first blood. Brilliant for him as he's got 2 kills to start off early.
It is going to be Pack, who has been tagged. However, it's finished off as well, but the problem for the Farm Team here is that they have about 120 HP between them. They're going to need to work off the back of that, and unfortunately aren't really able to string anything together. Beaumont's now been tagged up with the stun. Now him in a 1 versus 2 with just 45 HP to work with. You surely think the Wrecking Crew are going to be watching this flag cross. They do, and they get the kills.
Yeah, really good stuff. Just to, again, play off the objective. Heads-up gameplay. This is what we come to expect. It's checking all the boxes for me here watching through this gunfight. And actually, now that we're seeing the 725, it's actually a sawed-off modification of it. So take away extra range from that. It will obviously spread a bit more, but it also does hit like a freight train up close, as it normally does. So usually these pistols will be held onto. Farm team already tagged down. They have a small health pool disadvantage. Make that even more so as another Semtex connects onto Hendrix.
Stun as well for Hendrix. If you're Calcified together, you just peek up. There's another one for Hendrix. It's in trouble with these stuns. He is able to walk away scot-free. And the good news for the farm team here is they've got a player pushed up inside that flag zone. Of course, those players are going to fall. Caltron does take out Pack 22.
That's tough.
So this is now a 147 to 78 health disadvantage for the farm team. And Hendrix makes it in his favor. If he could get away, this could be huge. No, you don't need the flag. You don't need the flag. You didn't need it. What?
Oh, boy. It's tough, man. These split-second decisions. You hear the timer ticking down behind you. You feel like you have to go make a play. Sometimes you miss out on the actual objective in front of you. Oh, man. That's tough. But now we got the AUG. SMG. It's got a hollow scope with it. Cows fly together. First blood onto Sean. It's been very patient from Wrecking Crew. It's been paying off nicely for them. Cows fly together. Another kill. Doubling up. Should get information on where the third is, and it's not going to make a difference. His teammates will do the job for him. Beautiful stuff from the Wrecking Crew. Convincing so far, 4-1.
I can hear Parasite pulling off a chef's kiss at the moment. The organ play here. As you see now, Cows fly together and co. The Wrecking Crew 4-1 up in this one. They will get another shot at using the AUG as we switch sides. Hendrix puts those first 2 shots in, puts Caltron right down to 28 HP. Elsewhere, though, Sean Nelson only has 69. Hendrix putting some shots in really across the board. Every single player on Wrecking Crew now has been removed from that initial 100 HP total. And that means that Wrecking Crew, I would say, they're at the disadvantage, but I don't know if that is the case. So they are at the disadvantage here. Farm team are on 28 and 68 for Beaumont and Sean Nelson.
Beaumont's trying to make a play. Flag's going to open up. You don't need it again. You don't need it. Beaumont finds one. You don't need it. Pack's going to punish one, but the trade is absolutely there. Okay.
Woof. Woof. A sigh of relief. I love how you were like, we have this moment where we're like, no, don't do it. They can't hear. It's like when you shout at the TV when you're watching the chase. And it's like, they can't hear you when you're telling them what the correct answer is, but you got to tell them anyway. And that's what we're doing here in the casting booth. We'll let them know how to play this. Wrecking Crew, though, playing it just a little bit better at the moment. 4-2 up, and once again, it's Cows Fly Together who is pulling off headshots. Unfortunately, that does come at a steep cost. He's already down to 4 HP, so the majority of this for Wrecking Crew will have to be done by Caltron and Pack.
Caltron in a position to watch over this flag. Get there quickly. Small health pool advantage. The trade not fully there, but the damage is dealt. Yikes, though. You're going to have to probably play for this flag. Cows fly together, still at 4 HP. The flag is actually being captured at the moment. No one's watching over the top of it, and farm team getting aggressive. They'll find a way to capture up, and that will be the win condition in this round.
And that's why you watch the flag, folks. You've got to watch the flag. There is... I don't know why you wouldn't, to be honest with you, but it doesn't matter anyway. Here is farm team managed to pick up another round. Wrecking Crew, they still have an advantage, but 2 rounds on the bounce for this farm team side. First few shots going in. Hendrix isn't connecting a single one of them. Pack 22, sorry. They're finally going to fall. Hendrix able to reposition and pick up the kill. He knew exactly where he was. And the problem here for the Wrecking Crew is they have half the amount of HP that farm team have. Just Cows fly together. It's down to 50. And Sean Nelson going to go finish him off. Caltron in a horrible position. A great equalizer here for farm team.
Yeah, so far so good. Sean, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to putting yourself on top of one of these towers. You can just see everything, man. But it's risky. It's risky at that. So marksman rifle's up next. Sniper scope on what looks to be an EBR. And it's got a bipod, so it's actually going to be pretty steady. This is my least favorite weapon in gunfight. Absolutely hate it. It does one shot to the head. It for the most part, does not one-shot to the body. I don't think that there is any instance in which it does. I think you have to hit twice. You can see so far, nobody connecting any damage at all, so now they're trusting the Semtex. Also important to note as we go through this round, stim shots are available. You'll carry 2 charges of that to get you back to 100 HP in case things go awry.
Caltron gets that first shot onto Sean Nelson. You talk about those one-shot headshots. Well, there it is from Caltron. Hendrix gets tagged with what I believe is a Semtex, and now going to have to go for the overtime flag. This is huge from Farm Team. Are they going to check it? Yes, they do, but the progress has been made. I believe it's Pack 22 and Caltron together who are just making their way at the mid-map. They push the advantage with the push towards the flag, and they get the kill to boot. Brilliantly played there by the Wrecking Crew.
Absolutely brilliantly done. 5-4, small advantage. And if we go to around 11, we will have cycled through all of our weapon classes. We'll go back to what we had off the rip. Nice shots from Hendrix, finds first blood, and a cow flies together. So we very well could be seeing that round 11 coming up. I just love these custom logos, man. They're absolutely getting me. Nice shot again, connecting at range. Round 11 is coming back to us here, Brody. And boy, this has been a tight one.
Round 11, our first of the finals day. Of course, this is our second semi-final, guys. We already have one of our finalists in the off patterns. Let's see who starts this series up at 1-0 in this best of 5 as the farm team put those first 2 shots in. Beaumont manages to tag Caltron down to 71 HP. The Wrecking Crew facing a very fast push from Hendrix. Is able to put some damage in, does get Caltron, and puts a couple of bullets into Pack 22. And now the Wrecking Crew, I believe, at a advantage here, just about, as Sean Nelson is down to sub 50 HP. Can Beaumont rectify that? Puts the shots in. Yes, he does. Farm team have the advantage, and with 5 seconds left, Wrecking Crew, they need to push something now.
Oh boy, and they lose Sean as well. Things have gone from bad to worse. Beaumont has to make the play. He's gonna try to capture the flag. He could find a kill, but it's not in time. Flag gets captured. Wrecking Crew barely able to edge over the farm team in round 11. I knew we were gonna get a good game. I didn't know that we were gonna be getting round 11s this soon.
Just beautifully played by both teams.
Wonderful
Round
stuff.
11 is what we wanted. We spoke about just how close these 2 teams would play each other. We didn't know what to expect beyond some close games. There it was, round 11 in game number 1. Great performances all around. I don't think anybody had a terrible game by any means. Everybody stepped up when they needed to, and just brilliant stuff there. One thing I would note as well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but B-Man is not here today.
Yeah.
So it's Beaumont and Hendrix that are back from day 1 and day 2 respectively. These guys are just cycling out players like no problem at all. Oh man, it's oh dear, it's like the LAG.
Bit of a revolving door going on with the roster. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, it's something, but it works out for them as they are going to push it all the way to round 11. Unfortunately, it just, that one-on-one at the end just doesn't work out for them. And Wrecking Crew now 1-0 up in this best of 5. Again, we don't know what map we're going to get. I'm pretty sure they're probably just random from the 5 or 6 map pool that we have for Gunfight, but fingers crossed for speed.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to Speedball with these 2 teams. I think, with how they've played so far, the Speedball would be nasty, dude. It would be absolutely insane. It'd be so much fun to watch. So I'm hoping we get a Speedball. Even a Stacker or a King, though, I think would do pretty well. And hey, we get what we want. Oh, here we go. Scars for the AR. First 2 rounds that are coming out. They also have shotguns to play with. Look out for these barrel positions. Yeah, Heady versus Heady right there. And there will be an even trade in numbers, 2v2, but Beaumont is down to 30 HP, and 1 good shot will take care of him. Wrecking Crew draw first blood on the scoreboard.
Nicely played from Wrecking Crew. And this is the beauty of Speedball, I would say. It's even faster in some circumstances than most Gunfight maps. I mean, there is not, I'd say there's a ton of cover, but there's not a lot of cover at the same time. A lot of the cover is essentially waist height. So,
yeah, it's not cover that keeps you purely safe. Whether you can wallbang or it's not exactly the height that you want it to be at. Yeah, there's a couple of different things that, outside of this cement wall right here, there's everything else is pretty much wallbangable. So
yeah, absolutely it is. And we're already seeing that as Pack 22 picks up Beaumont for the first blood. A trade does come in as Sean Nelson takes down Pack 22, but the farm team's overall HP here, not that great, to be honest with you. Saying that, we're going to go down to a one-on-one engagement. Sean Nelson taking advantage of the shoddy in the back pocket. It's now a one-on-one engagement. Now, Caltron, hopefully he realizes in this scenario, all he's got to do is defend the overtime flag. The shots go in. Player still on it. There it is. And the kill comes through. Wrecking Crew 2-0.
Really good start again for these guys. And now we swap away from the ARs. What do we get next, man? It's just, you just never know. And it's going to be Deagles. It's just raw. Well, it's actually a shotgun round. I think they're just going to be using the Deagles off the start here. It's the Model 680 that is actually the primary here. So this is technically shotgun rounds. But like we mentioned yesterday, and like we'll continue to mention, in these shotgun rounds, you're typically going to see players trying to default to the pistols first. Caltron and Pack are both one bullet from either a shotgun or a pistol at this point. So, yeah, there's Sean for one. The Semtex does convert, but Pack is on 4 HP, and he has to find 2 kills. Really, at this point, you have to find a headshot into somebody, and, well, how about that? There you go. Now an opportunity. 1 bullet will do from either player. Doesn't matter what the health pool totals are, with the exception of just going for the flag, and Pack holds the ADS up. Wrecking Crew steal away around in which you thought they would have had no hope for. Brilliant stuff from Pack.
Dude, I was about to call that I'll buy somebody a PlayStation if he makes that clutch.
You're welcome for talking over you, I guess.
I was about to say that. Pack is... Yo, I'm so glad. Oh, man. Oh, well, what a clutch that was. Pack, 4 HP. Damn, 4 HP. He managed to clutch up on him. Now we go into round number 4. Pack continues his hot spree, able to pick up a Semtex right off the start. Caltron follows up with another Deagle kill, and now a 1 versus 3 for Sean Nelson. It is possible, but Pack is on a hot spree. This is that first shot, looking for some more. Unfortunately, isn't able to connect with any of these Deagle shots, and yet still Sean Nelson kind of felt like he was packed into a corner no matter what.
Yeah, that's for sure. Man, Wrecking Crew has taken over this map, though, haven't they? So many good moments thus far. So now no more pistols, and it's going to be EBRs, marksman rifles, with a little bit of a toggle scope. You've got this more advanced one, and then you can flip it down to get a hollow scope in the mix. And like I mentioned, sometimes you just don't want to trust the EBR. You want to pull out that pistol. Nice shots, you would think, here for Cal, but I think a grenade actually flinched his shots too far up, so he doesn't actually connect for a full kill.
Caltron trying to find these first few kills. Somehow still hasn't died? Still hasn't died? Caltron, no. Caltron, no! Caltron with the slap down! 1 more player left up. Farm team take a round, but Caltron is producing clips for us here.
Looking real good. Oh, man. Marksman rifles are something else. They really are. 7 and 2 for Caltron. There's that flip of the scope down to a more hollow base, but Sean connects with a headshot. Cows fly together, not really trusting the rate of fire, wants to try to go for precision-based shots, not going to pan out, and Pack in a 1v3, although no, Sean! He takes down a teammate! This is doable again, as he almost connects with a follow-up shot. Not going to fully be there, so 4-2 we go.
4-2 we go. Oh, dearie me. This is intense, to say the least. Farm team finally have found a foot in this game after the back of those dual marksman rifle rounds. But now we go back towards the SMGs. I believe this is the UMP. Looks like the UMP to me. Not going to connect with anything just yet as Sean Nelson gets that first blood onto Pack 22. The R9 is in the back pocket as well, so if you want to get up close and personal, that shotgun is the option. And here it comes from Caltron, who's unfortunately reduced right down to 8 HP. Bullets through, and farm team a 3rd round straight. Alan, this just keeps on getting closer.
Yeah, it's getting tighter and tighter to the Strager 45, technically an SMG, but its rate of fire and its damage is going to make it feel a lot more like an AR than your normal SMGs that we see. And the R90 as your secondary, and just a drawback double pump shotgun. Cows fly together, able to find first blood. Pack actually shoulders an angle, will find some, tries to go to the C4, but gets caught while trying to do that. Cows fly together, also not able to clutch things up, but both players low. Caltron, though, gets caught looking the wrong direction. We're tied up for a piece.
And 4 rounds straight. I mean, you see 4 rounds straight from the Wrecking Crew. Farm team pop their head up, say, hello, I'm going to get 4 rounds straight now as well. You thought you were walking away with this one, Wrecking Crew. You're not. It's as simple as that. And now we go to the Pistols. I believe the X16 right now for both of these two teams. Pack 22 is getting adventurous in the mid-map. Gets punished for it, though, unfortunately. Isn't going to check those corners. Price would be disappointed. And Wrecking Crew now, technically speaking, do have the health advantage. Now the man advantage as well. Cross kills from Cows Fly Together and Cowtron, and now Hendrix in a 1 versus 2.
Hendrix is on the wrong side of the map. Trying to play off the flag. He tries to make a play. The throwing knife connects. Are you kidding? He still has a long way to go, though. Flag is going to open. Cows are going to see all of this movement that's happening on the map. Tosses out a smoke. Knows he's got the health pool advantage. Just has to sit here. Now the flag's being captured. Needs to find the kill quickly. Is not able to do it. Farm team clutches up. 5-4 we go. Unbelievable play from Hendrix.
What? How do we even pull that off if you're Hendrix? And now we're still on those X16s. Hendrix is apparently a pro with the throwing knife. Who knew? And Wrecking Crew now 5-4 down after 5 rounds on the bounce from Farm Team. Can they make it 6 to pull off a beautiful comeback? Flawless back-to-back 6 rounds. That's the question. Sean Nelson is going to draw first blood. Pack 22 down for the count. Cowtron trying to get away. Is going to do some temporarily. And now Cows Fly Together down for the count. The kill goes the way of Farm Team. And they take map number 2, 6-4. We're tied 1-1 in this one.
This is a good one, man. Selfishly, I'm sitting here like, man, imagine if we got to see these guys play gunfight all week long, because these guys are looking like a totally different squad here. I mean, the Search and Destroy was good. It was clean for the most part. But this gunfight has been exciting, and it's been tight, and I think that's what we kind of expected in some form from these two teams that, I get, at least in my mind, are the two favorites, I think, as we saw them from day number 1 going now into day number 2, and obviously here today in our final day. But this has been a really good match. A round 11 win one way, round 10 win the other in mostly comeback fashion. Yeah, this very well could go game 5.
Yeah, I'm expecting a game 5, to be honest. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to bring the caster's curse out for anybody, but I am expecting a game 5 between these two teams. It's been a phenomenal play so far, especially from Farm Team there. Are you kidding me? 4 rounds straight for the Wrecking Crew, and then 6 rounds on the bounce as a return. I thought they were done there, to be honest with you. I thought Farm Team were like, you're 4-0 down. There's very little chance of you coming back. But of course, that is the beauty of it being a best of 11 and round-based gameplay. It's very easy for you to bounce back. And here we go. We're on King. The first time for you guys to see it today. Let's see what it can bring us for Wrecking Crew versus Farm Team in game 3.
Yeah, remember this map, it looks very much so like Stack with that big elevated platform in the middle, but the flag spawns underneath that. And as we're going to get akimbo pistols to start, I don't know why it even has optics. You can't ADS with these guns. You just have to spam from the hip. So everything's got to come close quarters. Numbers advantage. Cowtron looking to get a reload off, and he's apparently baited just enough as the final member from Farm Team could not chase him down. And there's the POV from Cows Fly Together up top, able to secure that final kill.
You know, I am so confused by those sights on the pistols. If you ever feel useless, just remember you're not sights on dual-wield pistols. As Wrecking Crew looking to make use of them all. Beaumont picks up first kill, but unfortunately, lines pack up with Sean Nelson, gets the team kill, and now Farm Team, not only does you lose a man there, but you're at the health disadvantage by quite a margin. Cowtron playing this one slow. Oh, the beautiful clutch up there, gets those reaction kill onto Beaumont, and Wrecking Crew now 2-0 up. Good start from there.
This is so much fun, dude. I love gunfight. I love it, man. I remember when we saw it from the alpha, you're talking about it at the beginning of the broadcast. This was like our alpha gameplay where you could just play. I think it was just on Stack and just on King for the maps. But my goodness, it's just such a cool mode. Ram 7s for our ARs coming forward and Pilas. Imagine a world where we get rocket launcher kills. I'm hoping for it. I don't think it's going to be likely, but I'm hoping for it. Cowtron finds 2 kills in this round. He's 4-0, by the way. Hasn't died yet. And it's just down to Sean at 76 HP going up against the collective 200 of Wrecking Crew's final 2 members.
I so want the Peeler kill. That's all I want in life. I don't ask for much, but this Christmas, I want a Peeler kill here for one of these rounds. Sean Nelson, I don't think he's going to try that. I think he's going to be sticking to this Ram as he looks to go for the overtime flag. Doesn't work out. A player from the Wrecking Crew is just sat there for it. 3-0 start here from the Wrecking Crew again. They look pretty good. They did look pretty good early on from Speedball, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing, that they wanted to do a very similar stat line, and then the bounce back came out. Ramp 7 still for one more round, though. And you can see a couple of members from Farm Team are trying to play from the high ground. Cowtron's trying to watch over the top of this. Sean finds one. A Molotov is there for the trade. Cal for another. Now it's just down to tracking down where Beaumont is. He finds one kill up top. He's looking for a second. He grabs it, and Farm Team wins off of a 1v2 clutch up from Beaumont, as you'll see on the screen here.
Brilliantly played. Uses the teammate as a distraction. I'm pretty sure that the Wrecking Crew were under the impression he was on the crates on the right side. Of course, that's not the case at all. And really well played there from Beaumont to use that distraction perfectly to get the two-piece. Now, though, we switch over to the BLK Rogues. And again, the M1911's hit. For both teams, Cowtron get in front of a player. He's going to go for the melee. Going to have to settle for a BLK Rogue, which I never thought I'd say here. And a short-range gunfight, and now immediately it comes down to a 1 versus 3 for Beaumont, who only has 13 HP now to work with, isn't able to get away. The Wrecking Crew, they do stabilize after losing that prior round.
Yep, 1911s. Looks like there's no modifiers on it, so it doesn't hold a very lengthy clip of ammunition. So you have to be very dictated about your shots. Yeah, only 21 total shots. But you do have this rogue. Man, this thing is nasty. Nice shots from Cowtron. Doesn't miss a bullet. Now, moving forward, realizes a player nearby, and he's actually trying to use that rogue. C4 out, will not connect. And, well, the follow-up kills are good. Someone got killed by an impact of something. I'm not 100% sure what it was. It was over on the left-hand side up top, almost as if the C4 hitting him. Or something not being exploded, but just like the fact that he was hit by the projectile of it. Something
it was probably the stun. It was probably the stun. I suspect that he might have got impacted by the C4 or brought down to 99 HP and someone threw a stun and hit him. That does happen.
We got R9s and EBRs. Cowtron. Boom, boom. We'll find the kill right there. Pack not able to give the ADS up the time to get the secured kill into Beaumont. So now just on to Cowtron 1v2. Sneaks back over towards his spawn. He knows the player is in the cargo container. He's going to cook up a nade. He's going to actually get caught with one on his own. Damage traded, but only one bullet needed. That'll be the end of him. Farm Team trying to extend this map a little bit further, but it's going to be a big hill to climb.
If I've learned anything from today, it's don't count out the Farm Team. They know how to make these comebacks. They got 6 rounds on the bank in the prior game. But that's not a good sign to kick this one off as Pack 22 picks up the first head onto Hendrix. Sean Knowlton has already been brought down as well to 39 HP, and as the player with 100 HP does fall, a 1 versus 3 is required of Sean, who is on 39 HP again, to keep the Farm Team alive in the swing game in the series. Only sitting in a corner. All angles being covered by the Wrecking Crew. I don't think they know where he is just yet, but as he covers into that mid-map, he gets the kill onto Pack, surely going to be dealt with, and he is. The Wrecking Crew, a clean performance here on King in our swing game. They're now 2-1 up.
Much cleaner, I would say, overall, from the side of Wrecking Crew. You see the damage scores there for a moment, pretty even across the board. Everyone, again, finding a way to participate. And maybe there's something to be said about the map. Maybe there's something to be said about the weapons, but that's a big swing map to get up 2-1 in the series through 3. And now all you need is obviously that one map more. Again, it's a best of 5 here in our semis and grand finals. So a good position, if you don't like what map 4 is, to try to survive through the 5th one as well. Again, we've seen, what now, Speedball? We've seen King. We've seen, what was the other that we saw? I'm losing my mind.
Pine? No. Was it Pine?
Stack? No.
Stack? No. Oh my god.
What was the third map?
I think it was Pine. I'm pretty sure it was Pine.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was Pine map 1.
Yeah, Pine map 1. Sean pushed through a lot. That's right.
Jeez.
So we've got Docs left. Man, my mind is lost. We got Docs left, and we've got Stack left. Those are the only 2 maps that are left to go here. So be interested to see what comes up next for our players. As again, we've been treated to a pretty good one here so far.
Or potentially Hill, of course, if they want to treat us to a Hill, which would be real nice. Thank you.
I don't think we're going to see Hill. I don't think it's going to be in the pool.
I want to see it. I need confirmation, guys. Everybody in the team, give me confirmation that we are going to see a Hill. Okay, this is not the confirmation I wanted. I don't like it anymore. I don't like it. I want a Hill.
Here we go. Pistols to start Deagles. Ooh, Pack actually, I would say very fortunately doesn't catch the mantle on the ledge there because he would have been running right into a waiting pistol shot. And well, as he tries to back away, Sean chases him down. Doesn't actually catch any damage either. So now Cowtron up top in brick. Sees the arm of one player top green, cooks up a nade, tosses, it's in a good spot, deals some significant damage. Cows fly together, meanwhile find another pick, and all of a sudden, shoes on the other foot here for a moment, although Cows Fly Together is still weak at just 21 HP. Up close and personal, pistol shots were decent, but not good enough for a kill. Health pool deficit for Wrecking Crew as the flag is going to open up.
And you got to go for this flag, and I think actually Farm Team happy to go for it in this position. Not going to happen. Farm Team capture the enemy flag. A good start for them, and they press the advantage pretty early on, right? I think it's Sean who ends up getting that first blood, follows up with that second there, as you guys can see. And as soon as they lost man advantage, I don't think Wrecking Crew really knew what to do.
Opening shots, long range here between Cows Fly Together and what looks to be Hendrix. Hendrix coming out on top of that trade. 2 shots will do, or a headshot from this Deagle. And a beautifully placed nade from Hendrix, able to find the kill. So 2v2 we go. And a small deficit here in the health pool for Wrecking Crew. Nice shot from Pack right over the top, hits a headshot. Now a 2v1. It's on Hendrix. He's in the backside near his spawn. He's going to find 1 kill. He actually tags up Pack, I think in collat fashion. He's got the health pool advantage. Now it's a dead tie, 23-23. Pack's going to make a play for the flag. It's going to open up in a second. The push through's coming out. Pack, he hears the information, the footsteps, and the shot connects just in the nick of time.
The awareness there from Pack. You could see it in the way that he was moving around that wall. He was like, no, he's coming this way. He's coming this way. He's coming this way. Beautifully played, though, as he does read every single move correctly. Ends up winning an important one-on-one engagement, as at the end of those rounds, it's 1-1. We now move over to a pretty attachment-laden MP7. Wrecking Crew going to start off with a player up top in one of the towers. Pack 22 has been stunned down to 98 HP, removed away from the tower too. Probably more importantly, as you've got one player now under that bridge looking for the kill, but neither team really making all that much progress so far. Cows Fly Together though, down to 16. Beaumont on the other side, down to 38. There's still 2 players, so there's now 1 player who's still on 100.
Pack is in a good position, but the flag is going to be everything. My math cannot level up. I'm pretty sure Wrecking Crew have a small disadvantage. They're going to have to make a play. Neither team is going for it right now. It's going to be Wrecking Crew trying to put themselves on, but don't get the kills. Beaumont another. Pack, he's going to have to make a play. The flag dissipates. He's able to get 1 kill. Goes for the second, but no, cannot contest in time. You saw what he was trying to do with a little bit of a slide through beatdown, but couldn't fully get there. And man, this matchup has been something else.
So close between these 2 teams. Here on docks, it seems like you couldn't really separate them, and there it is, Beaumont with the pre-aim, perfectly played there, predicted that Pack was going to jump through that window. Clouds Fly Together doesn't even get out of spawn, and now Cowtron in a 1 versus 3 has to do something. Clutch can't do it. Farm Team 3-1 up. They dominate the MP7 rounds.
Good stuff. Giving them a little bit of a cushion through the SMGs. Now we go to the ARs. It's Scars with what looks to be no attachments. And this is interesting. Cows is actually going to go bottom sewer. This is a risky position. You'll be pretty stealthy through it, but the problem is how do you get back up on the level playing field? Hendrix finds first blood. Doesn't take any damage in response to finding that kill. And Cowtron, who's still in his spawn, have opponents all around him. He gets tagged up a little bit. Here comes the push through, you think, from his right, and he actually snaps to it. Hendrix falls 2v2.
Wrecking Crew. Well, now a 1 versus 2. Make it a 1 versus 1. Cows Fly Together has the health advantage as well, so you've got to work with this if you're Cows Fly Together. And this is a spot that not many people know about, actually. It's very odd. Not many people know that you can actually get down there in the sewer. And it works out for Cows Fly Together. Ends up winning that 1 versus 1 versus Sean. He had the health advantage anyway, so should have won it, and does do so.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's not that it's like an unknown position, it's just an uncommon position, I think, for people to push through like that. Mostly because, A, you don't see much from that position, but B, it's super risky to make that push through and have to mantle over on top of a wall where everybody can see you from this top brick, top green building positions. Beaumont, first 2 kills, looking really strong so far. 5 and 4 for him now. Pack is still working at 100 HP, but can't confirm the healthy opponent just beyond in the spawn. So Farm Team now once again up 2 rounds, 4-2.
Good pre-aiming from Farm Team. It's as simple as that. They get the right angles once again. And now, as you say, 4-2 up in this game number 4. Remember, folks, they win this one. They tie the series at 2-2. We're going to a game 5. And oh my god, Caltron flies a Semtex right through the window, right through the door. It lands on Beaumont's chest. Kills him. And now Wrecking Crew have an incredible advantage in this one as Hendrix is just down to 52 HP. They have map control as well. This is really good from them. You see Pack-22 slowly but surely removes Hendrix from the game. And now Wrecking Crew, with 3 players, they're all on 100 HP. They're looking to win this one, but Sean does get that first kill.
Yeah, and again, this is the slug rounds for the 7.25 with a sniper scope on it. Has to play for the flag. He's in a position to maybe do it. He's clearing his angles first. Cows Fly Together is watching this. Pistol shots are good, but not enough for the kill. And Farm Team steal away the round. This is the problem when you try to trust pistol damage at range. If you miss 1 or 2 shots, that might be enough space and time to capture the flag. I like the committal from Farm Team to go for the flag capture. It pays off nicely.
Oh, dearie me. Beaumont going to draw first blood in this one. That is a good sign for Farm Team. Not so much for Caltron and Cows Fly Together, who now have to pull off a 2 versus 3. They're back with the 7.25s, and as you say, they need to be using them. They cannot afford to just keep on their pistols. The 7.25 is the more powerful weapon in this scenario. It does have a good range to it. See those first 2 shots going in, and there's the 7.25 again. It brings them down to just 43 HP, but Caltron's there to trade out the health damage. Now Beaumont in a 1 versus 2.
Doesn't connect the shot. Beaumont wins 1. Cows Fly Together up top. Has to make the challenge down low. And yes, it is still a shotgun, by the way. It looks like some kind of a sniper rifle, but you still can't hip fire it. It deals a significant amount of damage, and that's what gets the job done for Cows Fly Together. They stay in this docks. Again, for Farm Team, they are down 1 map. So this is a must-win scenario for them. And we get away from the shotguns and go on to the more traditional marksman rifles, the MK2. Pack has seen a player up top taking his time with the shot. He does, I think, connect, but it's Cows Fly Together who confirmed the kill.
Oh, and lovely shots with the marksman rifles here. The MK2 working very well for Cows Fly Together and Pack-22. And now down to Hendrix, who still does, technically speaking, have full health to work with. Pack-22 surely has seen him there. Goes for the kill, but Hendrix has Pack's number. And, of course, that number is 22, hence his name. But Hendrix, now at the back of the map, of course, can still win this via the flag. That was where Wrecking Crew faltered and failed earlier on.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go again.
No,
Going straight for it. No. Just go for it. There he is. He gets the kill. Wrecking Crew, they stay alive.
Now, keep in mind, you can contest this flag if you get close enough. And, yeah, fortunately, Caltron is able to connect that final shot because I don't know if they were in contest range there. Almost another sneak capture coming out. 1 more round of marksmans. And then we'll go back to what we had in the first round. Pack able to hit another shot. He's looked good today, man. He had a couple of moments in the search and destroy where they were a little shaky, but Pack has been really on form as he's able to connect for a little bit of opening damage. Cows Fly Together secures the kill. And now a numbers and health advantage for Wrecking Crew in this round 10.
Wrecking Crew look to make a 6-2 comeback. The shots go in. Cows Fly Together. Can't get the kill. Does get a tag, though. Farm Team only have 39 HP between them, but as Pack takes down Sean, it's now down to just Hendrix with 9 HP and one hell of a big dream. Takes down 1 player. But Pack-22, you said he had a great day of gunfight thus far, and there it is. Gets the kill. We're going around 11.
This has been fun, man. I can watch these 2 teams play all day long, if I'm being honest. But big moments from Pack. Huge clutch up. Round 11. First round, if you remember back to it. Oh boy, it's going to be an interesting one. It's back to just the raw deagle. And it's going to be Pack up top. He's going to try to hold things down from this brick entrance. Player behind him. He realizes. Sure where you went there, Brody, if you muted up or not, but Caltron is in a 1v3 situation. He finds the first, keeps the majority of his HP pool, but as soon as he tries to make a move, not able to get their Farm Team. Round 11 win sends us to map number 3.
It was so quick. So quick there for the farm team. I mean, they made those first 2 kills pretty easily. And then Wrecking Crew, I mean, when you're in that situation at 1 versus 3 with all that weight on your shoulders, it isn't easy. It just isn't easy. I mean, it's more than a simple 1 versus 3 at that point. It's you have to win, and then you can finish it off here and you're through to the grand finals. But it doesn't matter because we are going to be seeing a game 5 between these 2 teams, a complete difference to what we saw in the last game of the series as a 3-0 to the off patterns there over the Goats from State Farm. This one has been so close, and neck and neck pretty much for the entirety of this game. I think probably the least close game that we've had is the prior one to this on King, where I think it was like 6-3 or something like that. We've had 2 round 11s. I'm expecting another one as we go to game 5.
Yeah, it's going to be stack, I think, as well for our final map, pending that there's no repeat maps. So it's another one of those that you're going to have a little bit of an elevated platform, that cargo container in the middle, a couple of obstacles on the outsides. A lot of that action, I think, is going to unfold from staircase to staircase, though, as it usually does. Yep. So we'll see how they're able to handle that. But yeah, this has been really good so far. And yeah, it is stacked. How about this though for pistols? 3.57s. Looks to be some sort of a barrel mod on it. Looks like a compensator, so it'll shoot a little bit more steady. But this weapon has technically a hammer hit time when it comes to when you pull the trigger. It's not an instant click and then it goes. So you have to be really talented. And how about that for talent? It's just a premeditated frag grenade that deals with 1, and then the pistol shot to clean things up. All 3 kills coming by way of Cows Fly together in the first round.
And the thing I was actually going to say here before we got into game number 1, or this round number 1, sorry, is simply that those nades from staircase to staircase are generally speaking where the most damage is done on this map, and Cows Fly together exemplifies that straight away. Gets a beautiful first nade landing, and the thing is, you can pretty much throw those nades and know that there'll be a player there to connect it with as long as you throw it properly. Unfortunately, in the case of Cows Fly together here, that's not the case. He doesn't throw it correctly. It lands in front of the sandbag rather than past it, and now as his players, his teammates, his buddies fall around him, he just has 39 HP in a dream.
How?
Hendrix, stop doing this. Sean is not your enemy, okay? I know friendly fire's on, but he is not your enemy. It doesn't matter anyway. As Hendrix takes the final kill and they survive that brush with death.
I'm just dying to see one of these like on screen. Like, what is happening that these keep happening away from the action? It's so wild. 1911 pistols and Rogue VLK shotgun, C4 and smoke for this next 2 rounds. Opening trades lead to a 2v2. Last 4 players all at 100 HP. C4 on top of the cargo container. The Rogue coming out for Sean. Finds a kill. Now it's just down to Pack. 1v2 though, and if you can find this first kill and relatively cleanly, it could be good. He actually has the C4 placed there. Unfortunately, can't turn around in time though to find the second. Farm team go up 2-1.
And to be honest, this round, and I'm sure we'll see it again here, is another exemplification of these guys just not liking the shotguns or the VLK Rogue. They'd much rather use the pistol over that shotgun, and that's not the right call, to be honest with you. But you're seeing a very aggressive play here from the Wrecking Crew. It doesn't work out, unfortunately, as Beaumont is going to punish Pack-22 for getting aggressive. But Wrecking Crew still have 2 players at 100 HP. Sean Nelson is going to fall, so now we're even here. But Caltron falls on the other side. It's down to Cows Fly together, who has to clutch up. Trade sides of the map, and as 10 seconds is left in this one, expect to push towards the flag any second. Now Cows Fly together, put some shots in. All of those 3 shells not going to connect. 4 doesn't connect as well, and Farm Team take the round off the back of it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this VLK Rogue is something else, man. It's got that little lever action reload. It doesn't have the fastest rate of fire, but it hits hard. It chunks. But now we go back to the EBR marksman rifle, sniper rifle, set of bipods, advanced optics, and opening shots are good from Hendrix. He's been incredible today. He's 6-2. Bowman finds the follow-up pick. Now it's just down to Cowtron. No secondary to play with, by the way. It has to be the EBR or his lethals. He finds one, and I was about to mention if he can clean up this second, he would have the ability to get back to 100 HP with a stim shot, but not going to occur today. It's Sean that puts him down.
Well, now 4-1 up. Farm Team have given themselves just such an advantage here in Game 5. I hope it's not an anticlimactic Game 5, to be honest with you. Alan, this has been a very close series between Wrecking Crew and Farm Team, and oh well, it might just be an anticlimactic one at that as the shots going off. Caltron is able to pick up one though. This 1 versus 3 still on the card. But you've got to be using the mounting feature. I mean, you have a weapon that works so well with it. Hendrix uses it a little bit better, and we go to what could be our final round of gunfight here.
This has been such a good look for Farm Team. Good overall damage. And wait a second. Okay, this is actually an SMG round where the secondary is the MK2. I was about to say, we just had Torx rifles. Why are we getting MK2s? Again, the loadouts can be a bit random at times. Frag Grenade comes out, does get a bit of significant damage for Wrecking Crew. Brings Beaumont just down to 9 HP. Pack going for a bit of pre-fire just in case. But this is the problem when you're stuck in this low ground behind the stairs. The nades deal so much damage, and you see that come through mid-round. Farm Team push their advantage forward. And you'll see the final kills here from Sean cleaning up a couple of low HP members. And a 6-1 tally will be what it is to send Farm Team 3-2 in maps to get to the grand finals. Woo, buddy.
Yeah, that was very good. Again, nobody from Farm Team standing out in particular. Every single player does their part, and they do it very, very well. I mean, it's a 6-1 performance. That's an anticlimax, I've got to be honest. But a Game 5, nonetheless, our first, and hopefully not our last, because, Alan, we have our finalists. It's the Farm Team taking on the Off Patterns for the title of Agency Showdown champions. I believe it was WK United who took it last time around. So we'll be having a new Agency Showdown champion this time around. Of course, the Off Patterns, for those of you guys who weren't here for the first Agency Showdown, this is a roster that managed to get top 8 in the last one. They're now here, at least guaranteeing themselves second. And now they want to go a little bit further. And they've played so well, too. Honestly, though, Farm Team have looked incredible. I mean, I've got to say, the Wrecking Crew looked really good as well, right? But the Farm Team, they were the ones to overcome them, and they looked really good doing it.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I still think, though, that our champion lied within that semifinal. This is going to be a bit, just a small bit of a mismatch. It's going to have to be something special, I think, from the Off Patterns to be able to take this entire series away from this Farm Team squad. But they do have 5 maps to potentially navigate to try to do that. And we've seen that for Farm Team, maybe stronger on some maps than on others. So if you could find a way to steal away a couple of these more neutral maps for both squads, you very well could extend this series, and maybe there is some upset potential in our minds as far as how we're looking at Farm Team as the likely favorite in this matchup from the get-go.
Yeah, I would say we are looking at the Farm Team as the favorites, but who knows? The Off Patterns, they definitely performed. I don't know. I mean, earlier on when we were kind of watching the Goats from State Farm taking on the Off Patterns, I didn't know what to expect beyond. You get this usual play of, well, a bag of milk is the player you've got to look out for on Goats from State Farm. And for the other side, you're looking at a player like Mr. Wobble. That being said, when we were on there early on, Big Bank and SFH were both stepping up. They were both playing pretty well when they needed to. Also, that being said, though, there were mistakes in that game being made that I don't think were being made by our other semi-finalist in the Farm Team. And that's the difference for me. But who knows? I mean, we could be entirely wrong here. We don't want to hype up one team too much. The Off Patterns could absolutely come out and smash their opposition. But just to remind you folks, this is going to be a best of 5. So we'll have 5 maps, minimum 3, depending on what happens in this one. And of course, if you guys want to get involved, you want to let us know who is going to be your winner of this tournament, who you think is going to take the crown. Let us know with the hashtag Agency Showdown or Twitter, and on Twitter, or contact us via @ActiveBlizzMedia so we can know who you think is going to win. Interesting note though, our MVP, Bag of Milk, not in it anymore, which is it's sad, man. He's no more kills for him.
Needed some help, I think, was the biggest takeaway. I mean, he was doing everything himself the last 2 days. We saw that again coming through here in the gunfight, but his individual power, not enough to get into the grand finals. So yeah, just wondering and waiting on what we're going to have here as far as our map set for this grand finals. It's going to be a good one, though. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm telling you, man, I love gunfight. It's a mode that I hope
so
that with
good.
the Cold War reveal that we get more of next year, because it's been really fun to do some of these tournaments.
Yeah, I would say it's always funny, right? Because every Call of Duty has something unique to it, right? I mean, like, Black Ops 4 was the first Call of Duty to introduce Blackout and a Battle Royale, and that was its unique feature. Modern Warfare, to me, even though we do have Warzone, and of course that is wildly, by far and away, the most popular game mode in Call of Duty, has been Gunfight. I just think Gunfight is such an incredible addition. I will be sad if we don't get it in Black Ops Cold War. While we're here, actually, because we've got some time before we get our grand final underway, Black Ops Cold War, it's been revealed today. I took part in the LTM, the limited time mode, before we got on broadcast earlier on. It was incredible. I loved it so much. The trailer just looks so good. As Black Ops 1 was my first ever Call of Duty, so that was way back when in like 2010. I love that game so much, and this is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. I am super hyped for this game. I'm super hyped to see all my favorite characters return in what looks to be a very interesting story.
Yeah, man, the reveal event was pretty neat, to say the least. I love that, we're in a world where we can do things like this. Fortnite, obviously the first game to really kind of do an in-game event like that, but this is a different spin on what has been not an uncommon practice, I guess. So yeah, it's been pretty cool to see kind of what's coming forward. We got the release date November 13th. We've got a multiplayer reveal on September the 9th. That's going to be cool stuff. Yeah, I'm pumped to see what's going to come forward next for this new franchise. As much as we have had fun with Modern Warfare, I think everybody's ready for the next thing. And hopefully we get a little bit more to kind of, whet our palate when it comes down to seeing what's coming next with Cold War this upcoming fall.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd love to see, right? It's just, this new Call of Duty, it's always a nice breath of fresh air. It's what we talk about every single year is we get something new. So it's going to be super interesting to see what Black Ops Cold War can bring to the table in terms of that unique element to the game. Of course, as we suggested, it's gunfight in Modern Warfare that we love the most from this game. I believe our game number 1 of our grand final is ready to get underway. We're starting on stack between the Off-Pats and Farm Team. Let's get into it.
Opening kills will come out. SFH, not sure where he wanted to toss his frag grenade, almost just throws it away, knowing that he cooked it maybe a touch too long. And, well, Hendrix able to get an angle on Mr. Wobble. Farm Team now in a 2v1 situation. SFH still kind of sitting in the back towards the spawn. No utility to play with. Does have full HP, though. Timing of the peak, not going to behind the player to the left, but does catch B-Man to the right side. And SFH is playing this wisely. He's clearing his angles, and now he's actually going to put himself on the flag. He doesn't need to. He's got the health pool advantage, and guesses the wrong way. Second guesses for a moment, thinking maybe he got behind me. Again, it's one of those things that if you're his teammates, you got the health pool advantage. Please just stay back. Just watch the flag. You got ARs to play with. You'll find a way to kill quick.
Well, first round goes the way of the Farm Team. A great start from them here. You got to remember, they just 6-1'd Wrecking Crew on this very map. They looked very proficient on it, but as I say it, the Off-Patterns, they strike back pretty quickly. This weapon, I was going to say suits them. Of course, they lost that first round 2 of the Kilo, so 1-1 in terms of these Kilo rounds.
Now we switch away from the ARs. And is it Sean on Farm Team? Isn't he usually?
Oh, they've switched out. They've switched out players. B-Man is in. Sean's gone.
I was about to say, B-Man makes the questionable play at the end of the round last time through. And where's Sean? He's the hard carry.
No. Oh, no. I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say he's the hard carry, but he's definitely the best player on this roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a loss. That is a loss. And, in regard to our early conversation about who we think is going to win this, that changes the situation quite dramatically. Sean, of course, is the best player. He was an MVP nominee for this tournament, and he's not here for the grand final. The Off-Patterns looking a lot better off the back of it, too, as they now have a 2-1 advantage, 3-2 advantage, in terms of men on the map. Big back, though, and Mr. Wobble down in HP. C4's going left, right, and center, but the Off-Patterns just do not have the HP right now. SFH, though, brings it down to a one-on-one engagement, is able to run away from B-Man. And the question is, does B-Man know where SFH is? Unfortunately, SFH just chooses the wrong side of the map to stare at. And here we are, 2 for 2.
Look, I'm not going to lie, with Sean not in the mix, this matchup no longer becomes heavy favorites to Farm Team in my mind. This very well could be very 50-50. Sean is, I think, one of the players that has really kind of done well for his team in the last 2 days. I mean, I guess that this is a roster that has 4 players they want to keep rotating in between. So weird looks, but we're 2-2. This is technically an MP5 run with an MK2 as your secondary, so it just depends on what you want to use at which range. Mr. Wobble in a really tough spot, but he's getting some help from his teammates. Now he mounts up. He's taking B-Man down to 4 HP. This would be a miraculous win, but it is doable. I was about to say an MP5 or an MK2 would kill pretty quickly with the health pools that were left for the off-pens, but the number is just too much to deal with.
Quick response here. Once again, from the Wrecking Crew, they look pretty good. Here, 3-2 up, and we go back to these marksman rifles for a second time, and the MK2, first bullets go in for a big bang, gets that kill onto B-Man, but has suffered quite a bit of HP loss off the back of it. And another player as well suffers a nice bit of loss. I think SFH actually falls foul to a C4 there. But Hendrix now in a 1 versus 3. They know exactly where he is as well. That stun goes out. You think they might push the advantage off the back of it. SFH and Big Bang have the angles to work with. And there it is. Tearing apart this team clinically.
You need Sean back in.
Where's Sean?
I'll play coach. I'll put on the coaching hat. Call the audible. Sub Sean back in if you want to have a chance in this grand finals, because again, the offense are a good squad, and yeah, this, I don't know, it's one of those, I guess there is, this must be a multi-player roster. Mr. Wobble in a tough position, but he's able to get a little bit of a finesse onto one. Not going to secure the shots, though. The pistol can lead you astray every now and again. And B-Man able to turn just in time. Beautiful shots to reconnect before he falls.
We don't need Sean. We've got B-Man in. He knows what he's doing. He's turning on players. And 4-3, even without Sean, Farm Team are making this one close against the off-patents. Mr. Wobble on this head glitch for the first kill. And look at the mini-map right now, Alan. It's off-patents on that top side, Farm Team on the bottom. These guys have chosen their destinies. Now they've got to stick with it as Mr. Wobble's going to peek out. Those first 2 shots goes in, puts B-Man all the way down to 76 HP. Hendrix elsewhere is on 4, but he's pushed up. Good surprise, SFH, who is peeking up, but it doesn't matter. Big Bang's there to help out. Hendrix is going to fall. Mr. Wobble now, and not actually in the best position, but again, it's Big Bang who is there to help out, and the off-patents take the round by 3 up.
This is a nice little jump peek right here at the end for Mr. Wobble. Yeah, the off-pen's making me eat my words. Full value here. Appetizer, entree, and dessert were our previous conversations, apparently. Now we go over to marksman rifles. EBR, Deagles are the secondary. Smokes and thermites as your offhand utility, which are not the most valuable. And I was about to say, SFH is watching a beautiful angle. You see in the minimap, it was number 8 of B-Man who was pushing through. There is a trade that comes out. Double smokes are going to take over the back and middle portion of the map. It's going to cause a little bit of chaos for the off-pens, but now they'll be fine. Still sticking up together. 10 seconds till the flag opens, and a health pool advantage for the off-pens. But I was about to say, this angle peek is risky, and SFH gets punished just onto Mr. Wobble to have to clutch up. Nicely done. One more shot needed. Oh, he actually toggles a little bit. You don't need the flag again. The thermite's not in a good spot, though. Does he get to the flag in time? He's on it. You can wall bang, but no, it's not going to come through. Farm Team sneaks on. The bad placement of the thermite costs him, and it happens. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. It happens to pros, but the thermite just doesn't get over the staircase, and that reposition that was forced out is just too much ground that has to be covered, and Farm Team now opened back up with the first blood headshot onto Mr. Wobble.
Oh god, that could have been done. The off-patents could have won off the clutch, but Farm Team, they're making this one tough. They're punishing the mistakes because immediately it's SFH down to a 1 versus 3. He gets taken down, and it's round 11 between these 2 teams.
Oh, man. Brody, it's going to be a good one. Throw out everything else we may have said about the predictions and how the favorites are leaning on one side or the other, because right now, everything is up in the air. We go back to what we had from round number 1. It's the Kilo. Just a hollow optic to play with. Long-range shots, good for Big Bang. He finds first blood. Only takes a bit of damage in return. The nades are not going to connect either. big opening position for the offense. Shadow going to be seen. Nice shots. Headshot comes through. 3v1 situation. Hendrix on 9 HP has the clutch. He's found one. But the big problem is SFH is on 100 HP.
This needs to be very clean. This needs to be super clean from Hendrix if he wants to win this round 11. I think maybe one of his only hopes is just to jump on that flag and actually able to pick off Big Bank, but unfortunately that's not the player you want to take down. And I think SFH is smart enough to know that he has the HP advantage, just needs to watch the overtime flag. And there it is. Player peeks up from the stairs. The off patterns start this one 1-0 in the series. And for all our pre-game smack, the off patterns come up. They show just how good they are. Big Bank finishes with 11 kills.
And to be fair, no one underperformed terribly on the side of farm team. But I'm still looking at this of, are we going to see Sean get subbed in? I feel like you're really missing an opportunity here to bring him into the mix. He has been top fragging your team pretty much the last 2 days. He looked good in the first round of gunfights through semis in a tight matchup. Feel like you kind of want him in the mix in this grand finals if you want to carry that favor that we were heavily investing into this squad leading up to this grand finals.
Yeah, he needs to be here. You know, I'm not going to say they desperately need him to win. It just makes things a lot harder for the farm team. And that's not to say B-Man had a terrible game. He didn't. There was just a few moments, unfortunately, that they didn't come out on top of, and I feel like if Sean was in those situations, he might have been. This is not to act like Sean is some kind of deity, right? I mean, he has his moments too, but he is a great player. So there is that to consider. We've just been informed as well, apparently and allegedly, the off patterns haven't lost a game yet. This would be them.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's true.
If they were to 3-0 here, this would be them flawlessly walking away with the championship.
Yeah, they had the 2-0 in their search and destroy maps, both the first day and yesterday, and they 3-0'd their first semifinal in the gunfight. So yeah, that's actually a very true stat line. I'm glad that you brought that up. As Big Bank gets aggressive with Mr. Wobble, they'll find the first 2 kills. Hendrix will respond with 1. No Sean again here, so just keep that in mind. As Hendrix at 65 HP has a lot of work to be done, and the Uzi will connect at long range. Off-pens take the first round rather, pardon me.
Great stuff here early on from the off-patterns. Mr. Wobble, the Florida Mutineers supporter, coming out showing why he wants to be a Mutineers player. I mean, I'm not sure anybody wants to be a Mutineers player, but it is what it is. Brilliant stuff from Mr. Wobble and Big Bank. And yeah, I'm risking the Mutineers. You know, there's Hendrix in a 1 versus 3 now. Does have 2 players that are down from 100 HP, but Big Bank knows exactly where he is.
Nice
lands a nade right at the feet of Hendrix, brings him down to 21 HP. Some pre-fire as well coming in from Big Bank. Hendrix is in a horrible position.
Not good. Not good at all. We've seen better positions, I'll say that much. As he tries to make his move, he's going to have to play for the flag. Or grab the kills. Probably a little bit of both. It's not going to happen. SFH, I believe it was what has found the final kill. Yep, that's indeed the case. Able to connect him just before he gets around the back. 2-0 up. Uzi's down. Now we go to our next weapon type. What will it be? Got a feeling this could be pistols. It's actually shotguns with pistols to play with as well. Opening shots. Not quite connected for either player until later in the clip. Mr. Wobble able to take down B-Man to just 42 HP. But who's this on the flank? It's Hendrix. With the Origin just spamming the trigger, he's going to be able to find 2, if not all 3. And he catches the entire squad off guard as B-Man was the player to finish things off.
Who's that player on the flank? It's Hendrix. Comes in, picks up 2. Brilliantly played, and now we stick on board with this pistol shotgun combination as Hendrix. Is he going to try the exact same strategy again? The answer is yes, undoubtedly yes, and they're going to fall for it again. SFH has no idea about that player on the flank. This time though, Big Bank is there for the trade, and Mr. Wobble and Big Bank work together to eliminate the team. They react to it faster, they adapt, they survive, and they overcome.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, okay, hey, they want to push with these shotguns. Let's just make sure we're ready for it. And yeah, that little bit of communication was enough to get them right back to the mix. 3-1. EBR sniper scopes for our marksman rifle rounds coming up. Hendrix, first blood. Nice shots connect onto Mr. Wobble as well. Stim shot is, again, what I was about to say, is also one of the pieces of utility that you can bring. So back to 100 HP he goes. But no secondary. You have to connect these EBR shots. And Beaumont able to take down Big Bank. Now just down to Mr. Wobble. And he's in a real tough spot here.
Yes, indeed. Doesn't have a secondary to work with as well, and I think that's the bigger problem here, is this EBR not that good at close range, and that's exactly why as soon as you miss that first shot, you're kind of forced into just spamming, and of course, the recoil on that EBR is far from the nicest in the game. Beaumont takes advantage. It's a flawless round here from the farm team as they now find their second round. And I always say it's super interesting to see these first few engagements, right from the off, where you spawn behind those covers. Nobody's really died from them just yet. The Big Bang, starting this one strong, picks up the first 2 kills, is able to stim himself back up to 100 HP. So Beeman finds himself at a disadvantage here. Don't know if Big Bang just saw him. Yes, he did, but the Semtex gonna land right in front of him. Doesn't damage them, fortunately. But that's a Semtex that they kind of could have used.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens more often than not. Good cleanup here from the off patents, though, just underneath the railing. 4-2, the current round count. This EVR setup is interesting. It's got like a different stock. It's got a different grip. Bipod, sniper optic. Now our AR round are FAMASs. Big Bank wants to get up top quickly. Gonna be figured out. Hendricks able to find first blood. Thermites and what looks to be concussions will be the other utility to play with in this round, unless you want to pull out the 1911 as your secondary pistol. Big advantage, though, early. It's, again, one burst of the head will get the job done, and Mr. Wobble nearly doubles up. Not going to find it. Now just down to SFH. 1v2. One player relatively low, and SFH, I was going to say, he sees the player to his right, but doesn't anticipate the player to his left. So 4-3, we go in the count.
And once again, these games just incredibly close. Shift. This is so close between these two teams. We had a round 11 on stack. Now 4-3 up are the off patterns here. Let's see if they can extend their lead, or we see a 4-4 game between farm team and the off patterns. First blood does go the way of Big Bank, who seems to be the top performer today for the off patterns, but he has been brought down to 20 HP, so unlikely to find a second kill unless this is a clean one.
Played well yesterday as well, just to kind of keep that in the back of the mind. Mr. Wobble able to find 1 kill in transition. 1 more on the backside. Well found. Off pens, now 5-3. And you wonder what Sean's doing right now.
He's getting a manicure, man, I'm telling you.
Imagine, though, that he comes in map 3 and he sends it for a reverse sweep. Imagine
it's like John
that
Cena.
happens.
John Cena entering into
It's like Dashy.
Just, oh, what's that noise? It's Sean Nelson. Oh, Mr. Wobble! Oh, Wobble! Oh, not again, surely not. Oh, he gets another one!
Oh,
double throwing knives from Mr. Wobble. Takes out B-Man, takes out Beaumont, get all 3. Pick those throwing knives up, Mr. Wobble. Oh, he's trying it! He's trying it! He misses the 3rd, but a pistol ace here in the end. Mr. Wobble! Oh, you beautiful man.
There are 3 things that I look forward to in gunfight tournaments. Number 1, crossbows as the marksman rifle. I want crossbows to happen. Number 2,
want crossbows?
I want to see crossbow kills. Number 2 is throwing knife kills. Number 3 is just straight melee fisticuffs. So we got one of the 3 in impressive fashion for Mr. Wobble. And yeah, still perfect through the tournament, not dropping a map yet, are the off patents. Again, making me eat my words. I'll fall on my own sword. I've got to have enough words to eat here that'll serve for leftovers tomorrow at the moment. So
yeah,
we'll see. It's going to be a reverse sweep, though.
We're both in this. We're both in this. And as you say, the reverse sweep, if you guys maybe haven't heard that term before, I don't think it's terminology that's used outside of Call of Duty esports or just esports in general. It is essentially, is it outside of esports?
It's pretty common phrase.
Is it American sports? Is this where I've...
The reverse sweep, you see it happen in other sports as well. They call about it, you go down 3-0 in a best of 7, you define a reverse sweep. Yeah, that happens.
Right.
It's a thing.
All right. I respect it. Whatever. I mean, it's American sports, I'll tell you. Still, though, really, really great plays here from the off patterns. And as you say, they could well find a reverse sweep, which, of course, if those of you who maybe haven't heard of a reverse sweep, maybe you haven't seen the common sports that Shift has been watching every day. Essentially, if you're down 2-0 in this series, it's best of 5. You've got to win the rest of the maps. And, of course, that's sweeping that back 3. And it could well happen, but the off-patents have proved themselves quite a lot, and no Sean Nelson to go up against. Your Goliath. He's gone. He's getting a manicure elsewhere. And Farm Team now looking to pull off the reverse sweep. Can they do it? It's time for what could be our final map, and what a better way to potentially end it than Speedball.
I don't know why Manicure is what he has to be doing instead of playing
Well,
Call of Duty.
he can have a pedicure if he wants it.
Why can't he just be like making a sandwich? Why does he have to be doing
that's
any
the
kind of
cure way to imagine it.
He might be trying to fix an oil rig off the seas of off the Caribbean or something. You don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They could be doing a variety of
Why
things.
not do the same? Why not do both at the same time?
Maybe he could be. We don't know. MP5's up close and personal. Both players are going to contest the middle barricade. Wobble takes the win. Gets a nice little shoulder peek. Sees the second player. Mantles over the top. Batman moves off the top ropes. Off-Pans are running away with this, man. I'm not going to say I'm super surprised, but it's definitely going beyond the expectations. We thought we were at least going to get a close game, but so far it's been all the off-Pans.
Mr. Wobble there. I mean, those are advanced moves, right? I mean, not necessarily at pro level or even competitive level generally, but for a pub level, jump shots are frowned upon by certain subreddits, and we see that there from Mr. Wobble. Uses it to perfection, but now it's Mr. Wobble who needs to clutch up with the, I believe that's the AK. Can't do it, and Farm Team find a round here. So CR56
much
is a new
needed. Yeah, as a CR56 with what looks to be couple of modifiers on it. Nothing too crazy. Pila kill?
No.
Mr. Wobble?
No,
Give
no,
it to
no.
me. Give it to me. Do it.
No!
Whoa! Big finds two! What? No way! He finds two with the Pila backside of the Farm Team spawn.
Man.
They're giving us everything we want. That's number 4 on my list. Rocket launcher kills.
Oh, the off pattern, the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, throwing knife kills, peeler kills. We asked for it earlier on. They must be watching the stream. They must have heard what we were asking for, but those peelers are gone now. As the off patterns find themselves a man down here. Big Bank trying to get a kill, doesn't get it. It's Beaumont going to win that one, and now SFH has to pull off a ace in this one. Isn't able to do it just yet. Is able to get away, but surely dead to rights any second now. There it is. Farm Team not done yet.
Still involved, but man, you feel like you need to take this next round as well. Get this one right back near level playing field. And you're going to have, again, just kind of a passive hello?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, sometimes the things we see in these tournaments, they're hilariously fun. Gunfight, though, does also offer up opportunities for people to mess up just like that. And, well, 2 versus 2 now as SFH, I believe he's surely going to spot Beaumont making the peek out. Predictive shot, not willing to risk it. Gives enough time there, though, for Beaumont to tag Big Bank down to 64. B-Man elsewhere, though, down to 31. The HP well and truly in the off-pants.
Smoke play for the flag.
The smoke play for the flag doesn't work out. The off-pants get the kill.
Say for a moment, man. Again, it's just pistols and shotguns. If Big Bank doesn't find the information coming up backside of that white container, there is an opportunity that he might be able to sneak that one away, but not going to exist here. MK2s and Model 680s for our marksman rifle rounds. Mr. Wobble, I don't think he saw anybody cross from right to left, but 2 players have made his way through, and I don't know how does he not see the player over to his left. He's going to get it now. The information is going to be given as there's a number of shots coming from that direction. Nice connection on the B-Man. One more up close, Mr. Wobble for a double. We'll put a couple of extra rounds in the MK2 and try to help out SFH to track down where Hendrix has gone to. Nice shot. And another. Wait. He's going to get both? Unbelievable. Brilliant play from Hendrix. Is played from the backside. He gets the long-range shot side one. Able to readjust to the one up close. Beautiful double.
Farm Team, I thought for a second that the off-patterns were going to find themselves on match point, but they don't. Farm Team just continue to claw at this off-patterns lead. Nade goes out. Fortunately, isn't even going to connect with anything. Beaumont seems to be very proficient with this MK2. Gets that opening kill onto Mr. Wobble. And you see SFH just holding onto that angle. Big Bank wants to get right into the mixer, though. Gets first kill. Looking to line up some more. Isn't finding the second one yet. Gets the headshot. Now, a one-on-one. Big Bang looking for the ace in this round. Beaumont knows where Big Bang is, but Big Bang has no idea where his adversary is on this map. The shot goes in, down to 16. Big Bang needs to flick out, get this kill, and stun doesn't connect. Overtime flag now being captured. I don't think Big Bang's going to stop it. No, he doesn't. Farm team tie this one up at 4-4.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Maybe if you don't get tagged, you could make that rotation or on the backside through your spawn, but not going to get there. Akimbo pistols. Akimbo pistols is what we get. This is literally Bless RNG rounds, and the farm team just running at them. I love the play call. They win the trades out. Big Bang from the opposite side is getting spammed at, but he's got to deal with 2 players at 200 HP. Up close and personal. Both players are there. Not going to get the kill. Farm team on a bit of a resurgence, looking to take the first map away for the tournament from the off patents.
I don't think these guys like the X16s that much. I think just the way that you saw the off-patterns play with them there, they didn't look all that comfortable.
I mean, how can you with the Kimbos, right? You're just spamming and hoping.
But we do know that Mr. Wobble is very good with these throwing knives, so, you know, let's not count him out just yet. Big Bang gonna fall. Mr. Wobble falls. SFH now finds himself in a 1 versus 3. They know where he is. You've got to use this smoke to get away. The throwing knife attempts, both of them gonna miss wildly, and the shots come in. Farm team take game number 3. They take the first map of off-pants, something nobody could do throughout the entirety of this tournament thus far.
Impressive stuff, to be sure. I mean, the resiliency to come back into it, and maybe blessed by a couple of those loadouts. Like, Akimbo pistols is roll of dice, dude. You don't have the ability to get ADS. You don't have the ability to scope in. You're literally just spamming double hip fires, and again, pistol hip fire is not exactly controlled, especially what that weapon did not have like a laser sight on it or anything like that helps control that hip fire. So the shots are just, you're just hoping. You're literally spraying and praying through it, and it came out. Again, the strategy, just run at them, get up close and personal, just overwhelm the numbers, and it worked out nicely. So good adjustment from farm team. Staying in this one, we'll go to a 4th map.
The off-patterns, they seem to have an Achilles heel, as it were. So if you're a farm team, you've just got to hope for more dual X16 rounds later down the line. Probably not going to happen. I will say that much. Obviously, because technically speaking, dual wielding is an attachment, and the attachments are randomized on these weapons. So this isn't going to happen again. But positives to take away. We've seen dual throwing knife kill today. We've seen a dual peeler kill today. What do we expect now? What, just punch-ups? Straight fisticuffs? That's what we want.
And we want it. I don't think that crossbows are currently in the rotation right now for marksman rifles, so we won't get that opportunity. Mr. Wobble trying to mount up with the MP7. He's probably seen a player. Yeah, Hendrix was figured out as he made a play right for the red cargo container where the spawn for the flag will come into play. Mr. Wobble, another nice start here, only dropping 40 HP in total. That round was the off-pens. They take it cleanly for the first round.
Reserved play from the off-patterns, and I think that's kind of their status quo, as it were. They've been very reserved throughout the entirety of these gunfight matches, and they seem to be working very well off the back of it. Now, though, we switch over. Still on these MP7s and Deagles in the back pocket. Farm team now trying to play reserve. There's a lovely nade goes out, lands right at the feet of Mr. Wobble. Another one takes him down. Big Bang already down to 21 HP. You need to see a return fire, and there it is. The head of Hendrix is gone. Big Bang knows where another player is. Unfortunately, isn't going to find it. And now SFH 1 versus 2. Can't pull it off. The trades are efficient, and farm team draw up.
Yeah, good trade. Pretty easy from behind, but still getting it before he gets behind cover. Obviously very crucial and important. We stay tied 1 apiece. We go to pistols next. We've got Deagles, concussions, and frags. Mr. Wobble's trying to stay mounted on this wood. Could be dangerous. Big Bank able to convert. First headshot in. 3v2 situation. Mr. Wobble's cooking up a nade. I don't think it's going to have the legs to get where he wanted to put it. And at range, it looks like Beaumont has actually tagged him up a little bit. So, still doable for farm team.
Still doable indeed. Farm team, they have a lot of HP to work with between them. Mr. Wobble quite a lot down and surely taken out any second now by B-Man. Goes for it. B-Man runs straight towards the mid flag, but Big Bang is there. Big Bang hits the shots. Has one player right in front of him. It doesn't see him, though. The flag is an option, but it doesn't matter. Big Bang with this Deagle. So good.
Good stuff thus far. Good stuff so far. Very calm, very controlled. Good pistol round. One more to go through. If there are going to be any adjustments, maybe this farm team try to go with the whole overwhelm with numbers idea. Maybe try to get a bit aggressive. Looks like that's not going to be the case. Hendricks finds first blood. That was actually Mr. Wobble who played aggressively through the red cargo container. Big Bang trying to hold things on from the backside of this wood barricade. Did he get stunned up? Push looks like it might be trying to come towards him. He's going to have to reposition. 15 seconds till the flag opens up, and he's going to be shot at from the left. Tosses a nade. It's actually in a pretty decent spot, but I don't think it connects.
Doesn't connect. Big Bang gonna fall here. SFH dead to right, surely. Yep, there it is. Farm team. For everything that the off-pants do, they seem to have an answer. Both of these rounds so far, both of these sets of rounds with the weapons one apiece, as we here now at 2-4-2. We switch over to the M19 again, or the 1911, sorry, with the, I think that's the X16, something like that, in the back pocket, that shotgun. But SFH starting off not so good. Semtex to the face, killed himself.
Renetti's going to be trusted for Big Bank, and he's seeing a lot of movement coming towards his team's spawn. Nice shots, though. Connects to get Hendricks off the map. 2v2 we go. 7 seconds till the flag opens up. Still trusting the pistols. Now maybe considering moving forward. Mr. Wobble finds another pick. You don't have to play for the flag, remember. Still don't. Shotguns! Oh, it got tight for a moment there.
That was the Origin 12 to kick things off there. Apologies, I know the one calling it X16 for my brain had a fart in terms of what shotguns are in Modern Warfare. But Origin does take down the last remaining player for the farm team. And now 3 for 2 up are the off-pants. Remember, folks, they win this one. They win the series 3-1. They walk away as your agency showdown champions. Farm team, they need to still reverse to stop that. Why do players keep on semtexing that one wall? Come on, guys, throw it a little higher.
Tough scenes, but still plenty of time to try to bring this HP back. That's just so tough with the Origin. Big Bang doesn't see the player immediately do this, right? That's snuck through, and Hendricks will drop. It's a bit too risky, IMO. So now 200 total HP for farm team. They're down. They have to make a play for the flag. They're going to try to trust the pistols at range. B-Man has to make a play for the flag. He's going to be spammed at from a number of angles.
You gotta go. Get on the flag.
Wait, actually, no. There's not enough health pool here for the off-pens. They were playing so cautiously around the flag, there was enough damage dealt. B-Man gets 1 kill. He puts enough rounds into... Who is that? So Spy couldn't really tell, but he gets enough damage confirmed to where it flips the health pool around. Unbelievable.
That was SFH in the mid-map. Actually just exposed, didn't want to get in cover, and because of the shots that B-Man was able to put in, farm team, once again, answer. And now we move over to the FAMAS as first 2 shots go in. Big Bang puts a couple of rounds into B-Man. Him down at 84 HP elsewhere. Mr. Wobble is able to get a flawless kill off onto Hendricks. Responds with another one onto Beaumont. And now B-Man, who was tagged up earlier, they know exactly where he is. The off-patterns here. Surely going to hunt him down any second now. And there it is.
Oh boy. And it looks like there's an underbarrel grenade launcher on this FAMAS. I don't think we're going to see much use of that, but something does to keep in mind. And so now we move into our 8th round, last round of the FAMAS. Opening damage into Hendricks gives a health pool advantage early for the off-pads. It's going to force farm team to have to make a move. Hasn't really made any move yet, as there's a couple players kind of snaking their way forward. But that's about it. I mean, you're going to have to make a play. You need to find some damage, and Big Bang actually confirms the kill. He was tagged up, but not hard enough.
And for every single round so far that the off-patterns have won with a weapon, farm team have had a response, but not this time. The off-patterns, they win this one. 5-3. Mr. Wobble closes out the round. We go to a new one. New weapons, but this time the off-patterns have an advantage.
Yeah, major round advantage. EBR will be used for this next round with a ACOG scope on it. And Big Bang doesn't actually catch B-Man just over to his right. That's good for first blood. Oh boy. Imagine a world where they could bring this back. Mr. Wobble, 1 taps to the head. 2v2, both sides, full HP until Mr. Wobble gets tagged up. Not the stun he was looking for. Tosses a random thermite, hoping for a bless, but not going to get caught with anything. So now the off-pans have to make a move.
Mr. Wobble is so low on HP. 9 HP to work with, and now an SFH to clutch up. The overtime flag will appear any second now, but he's taken down the farm team. They live to see another round.
They've been good with the marksman rifles so far. If there was to be a weapon type to get them into another round 11, you feel like you're liking this one. Based on how it's gone to the past, Mr. Wobble, same position he was in a couple rounds previous. Hendrix finds first blood this time. Mr. Wobble, I think, sees the gun of one player up top, is trying to line up the headshot, but isn't getting the opportunity to pull the trigger. Decent trigger discipline for now, but still, 2v3. Everyone's still at full HP.
And the problem here, even more so beyond the HP, is that Beaumont is in that mid crate.
Yeah.
So farm team, they have full map control. It is the off patterns in every single metric that have to force something here. Smoke goes in though. I don't know who threw it, but if it was the off patterns, this could be an incredible play as Mr. Wobble uses the cover, but has to pull the 1 versus 3. Gets 1, lines up the second.
Way.
Surely not the kill. It doesn't go through. Farm team, they force a round 11. Mr. Wobble almost pulls off an insane clutch to close out the championship.
He knew where the last player was too. He saw the barrel of him up top. The fact that he gets the first one and then snaps to the second is beautiful. Just could not respond in time to the last one needed. 12 and 6 though for Mr. Wobble, looking for number 13. Not going to find the kills. We go back to MP7s. Remember back when we had this weapon loadout for our first 2 rounds, it went 50-50. 1 round for the off-pens, 1 round for farm team, so it couldn't get more even here.
And look at the HP across the board shift. This isn't good for the off patterns. I mean, they may have just got another kill, but there is not really much breathing room. But
Nice
the shots go in. Big Bank, he gets the shots in, but again, when you're on 24 HP, there's not a lot you can do. SFH now kind of has to go for some Hail Mary play. The overtime flag is available, but he's choosing not to opt for it, choosing instead for the kills. It's not going to happen. Farm team force a game 5.
Oh boy. Round 11 win again for farm team. They've been clutch. Man, what do we have left? What's the last map? Docks? We haven't seen Docks yet, right?
Oh, it's Docks. Or Hill.
It's not Hill, dude. Hill's not an option, I'm telling you.
Please be a Hill.
It's not Hill.
Somebody, I'll slip a tenner under your desk.
Not happening.
Put Hill.
Hill's not on the map list. Confirm it.
It isn't. It is sad, but it isn't. It is going to be Docks, which is pretty good. Docks is a great map. We discussed it as a great map. It's one of your favorites, right? And yeah, it's very good, especially this kind of like, generally speaking, when I played Docks, like at the start of the game, one of my biggest problems was that right from the first cover where you sort of slip out to the left or the right, it was dealing with that first engagement. We haven't seen that a lot from these two teams, so I was kind of interested to see whether or not we will see that here. Sort of those first engagements come through, those first few shots, we shall see. But it is a game 5. There's no more maps beyond this. This will be our last one, no matter what.
Yep, last thing to happen right here for the entire tournament. Oh boy, it's going to be fun, man. I'm glad that we're seeing Docks for it. I think this map is going to be for a very even battle. I think it's a lot of it's down to decision making. You know, going for plays like this is risky for Mr. Wobble, but I love the discipline. Plays for the intel first, gets a kill. He actually sees the second. Perfectly cooked nade, should deal some damage. You got to push your advantage here, you feel like. He's going to come around the corner. Easy kill with the R9. Beautiful play from Mr. Wobble.
That is pretty much perfect from Mr. Wobble. All the way around, right? Gets that pistol kill. The patience to then come through and pick up the kill with the nade, followed up by the shotgun. Perfect here, you would imagine. And the same thing again, Mr. Wobble going for the exact same play. This time around has to finish it with the R9 shotgun. SFH on the other tower gets Beaumont. Now, though he gets tagged down, this is a horrible situation for Hendrix to find himself in. 100 HP, but still up against 3 players.
Big Bank has got a good position up top. Could come around the back, doesn't even need to. Good double challenge coming out. Really good stuff. Yeah, double challenge coming through very quickly. Nice stuff. So now we get down to what's coming up next is EVRs. This is where Farm Team has been good. The marksman rifles they've been really prevalent with in these last couple of gunfight maps that we've seen. They're going to need to once again. Mr. Wobble not able to lock down the shots. Big Bank is the first one tagged up down to 39 HP.
Mr. Wobble missing those shots. Those are huge shots to miss as well, right? Because that could have made all the difference in a round.
Mr. Wobble.
You haven't been good. Mr. Wobble, please hit something for heaven's sake. Just take your time. Stop panicking when you're in this scenario. Doesn't even hit that one, for heaven's sake. And a nade lands right at his feet. SFH, maybe he's better with the EVR, but I doubt it at this point. You're in a 1 versus 3. You don't have the HP advantage. Far from it.
Player on the flag too.
Being captured by Farm Team. That's a great round from them. And again, you talk about them having the advantage in the marksman rifle rounds, and it proves true.
Yeah, you got to take your time right there. Oy. Yeah, you have to take your time right there for Mr. Wobble. He had 2 kills in front of him. That was definitely the difference maker. He's going to play the same position. He sees one player back in their spawn still. Now looking over to the truck. That'll be good for a kill. Hendrix somehow kills himself with the Semtex. That's not good news. And now Mr. Wobble just needs one more bullet to convert the final kill. He'll do just that. 3-1 we go.
An important round in the grand scheme of things. You know, we may be overplaying the prevalence of the marksman rifles for a team like Farm Team a little bit, but to be honest with you, if we do imagine that that's their best weaponry, that's a round that the off-pans take, and it's a big one at that as they go 3-1 up here. We now move over towards the pistols. Once again, Mr. Wobble. Oh, Mr. Wobble! He strafes the throwing knife kill onto Beaumont, looking for more. Hendrix fires right back. Throwing knives galore here. Big Bank gonna revert just to a regular pistol kill. Hendrix is got a throwing knife, not a triple. A denial here as the off-pants go up 4-1.
Risky play nearly pays off, though. Just over the left shoulder of Big Bank. Oif. Here we go. Big turnaround. You need this right now for Farm Team. You need to take this last pistol. You cannot go down 5-1. SFH moving quickly into the bottom side of Brick. Tosses a knife just in case. Nobody's there, though. Mr. Wobble keeps the ADS up. Hendrix is going for another throwing knife kill. Not going to happen. 3v2. All 3 members for the off-pans at full HP as well.
Big Bank has just spotted out B-Man, but this time around, B-Man spotted him out as well. They know each other's there, and a throwing knife that doesn't connect for a Big Bank. Mr. Wobble spotting out Beaumont at the back of the map. B-Man, though, there for the cover. And now SFH, with 21 HP, is going to have to go for this mid-flag. The shot goes off. Surely dead to rights, and he is. Farm Team with the recovery. 4-2.
Good stuff. We talked about how they needed to win this round. They do just that. Good patience. They punish a couple of push-throughs. So what do we get next for weapons?
Wow.
FALs. Okay. So semi-automatic ARs is what we get with what looks to be an ACOG scope, and not much else that I could really pick apart from this POV. Nice shots, though, from Big Bank. 2v2. Small health pool advantage, but now it's actually just down to Big Bank, and he'll get gifted 1 kill, but 6 HP versus the 100 of Beaumont. It's going to come down to who sees who first.
It is indeed. I mean, this foul is very fast firing. If you've got a trigger finger, you can get a kill in microseconds. Beaumont, though, is keeping track of the corner. I think Big Bank's best play here is to maybe use the leaning feature. Oh, he's been tagged up. And there is the Molotov still affecting him as he runs around that corner. That's actually the stun. The stun hits him. Yeah. What the hell?
He was tagged up, I think, by that Molotov, and he gets out of the damage range of dying from it, but yeah, he was down to about 1 HP.
Yikes.
So 4-3 we go. And we talked about how the Farm Team has been good with marksman rifles. For all intents and purposes, the FAL is, with this loadout, is pretty much a marksman rifle. Big Bank holding the angle. He's going to see his shoulder, but doesn't have the trigger discipline to hold on. Molotov to block the door. Doesn't confirm any damage. Everyone's still fully healthy.
And that's the big takeaway from that fight, is that Big Bank, while does manage to get away with his life, no damage done through. Elsewhere, though, Hendrix has taken some. And SSH going to confirm a kill onto Beaumont. Hendrix, of course, still down to 54 HP. By all intents and purposes, the off-pants, they have an advantage here. But SFH is gonna fall. A player on the flag. Big Bang looking for this kill, will get it, and the off patterns find themselves on match and championship point, 5-3 up. But they were in this situation in the very last game.
Yeah, for real. Oh boy.
P90s.
Renetti's and P90s. Mr. Wobbles missed his jump. This is going to be a very risky peek for him. He still sees the head, though. Jump shots, not fully there to get the kill. Tags up a couple of different members. He's got Beaumont down to 13, B-Man down to 69, and elsewhere, Big Bang finds a kill. So now 3v2, Big Bang finds another. Last player, though, is in the sewer. B-Man has snuck his way behind. He could potentially clutch up maybe a couple of kills and make this an even game. He's got to get up a mantle from the backside, though, quickly, because you've got off-pens who are already on the flag, and B-Man hasn't mantled up yet. He might not get here in time. And now the information is there. The kills won't come through. Off-patents, they take the map and win the entirety of the Agency Showdown 6-3.
Very well played. I thought for a second that they might not have it in them at the end of that one. But yet again, who's the best performer on that roster? Big Bang finishes with double figures, 10 kills. Yet again, it's expected at this point. But congratulations to the off patterns. They walk away with a very large victory here. They are your champions, a major improvement over their top 8 placement from last time. That was, top 8? And here we are. First for them, they get that trophy. It looks pretty nice as well. I'd love a trophy like that if I actually.
It's actually a really cool trophy. Yeah.
Yeah. If I won something one day, which I won't, but if I ever won something, I want the trophy to look like that, and the off pants will be very happy walking away with that trophy.
Yeah, cool stuff. Good stuff for sure. I'm still loving the custom logos as well.
Oh yeah,
this was kind of my. Unfortunately, that's like one of my biggest takeaways is for the day was logos are really cool. But yeah, no, the off pens, they came through. They looked good. Big Bank played very well throughout the day, like you had mentioned. We talked about in the semifinal, on the other side of the bracket between Farm Team and Wrecking Crew, they looked like the favorites coming into this tournament. But you don't play Sean. Maybe that's a difference maker there. You still see a really fun map number 5 to come through between both teams. So props all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit a lot of the points there that are super important. I think, going into that grand final, the switching out of Sean for B-Man, I would love to see the alternate universe in which Sean stays in that game, that grand final, and just to see sort of how it generally looks in the end, because I think things look different. But that's a story for another day. The off patterns, they deservedly take the championship. Alan and I, we're sitting here eating our words. We were like, so confidently that the off patterns were not in this, and it was a mismatch. Well, hey, it was a mismatch because the off patterns, they had Farm Team for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the lot. Congratulations to the off patterns. They are through. While we have your guys' attention, though, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who tuned in to the Agency Showdown. If you want to leave any closing remarks, you can do so with a hashtag Agency Showdown. Let us know how you feel about the championship, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at ActiveBlizzMedia. That's where you can get all the information about Activision Blizzard Media and everything we do here over on that Twitter. And also, of course, this championship may be done, but it's not the only Call of Duty championship which is important. The Call of Duty League playoffs is about to be over. The final 4 teams are going to take each other on this weekend for $4.5 million. There is a lot of dough on the line, and of course, the title of our first ever Call of Duty League champions. It's going to be insane. Make sure you're there Saturday, August 29th, 11 a.m. Central. That's when the London Royal Ravens take on the Chicago Huntsmen for a place in the losers bracket final, where they face the loser of the Atlanta FaZe and the Dallas Empire. The match which will be going on right after that. So do not miss it. It's going to be an incredible game. Alan and I will be watching it. I'm so excited, man.
It's going to be fun, man. Can't wait. It's going to be it's been a wild year, for a number of different reasons. And it's all coming to one stiff conclusion here this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, that's an apt conclusion to Call of Duty Modern Warfare as we get ourselves excited for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I think we're all either figuratively or literally, in my case, rubbing our hands together in excitement for what that game and that 2021 season is going to bring. But make sure you're there, the Call of Duty League YouTube, watching that on Saturday, August 29th. Again, thank you to everybody who has tuned in. Alan, it's been a pleasure casting with you, as always. It's a rarity that we get to do it together, of course, being on opposite sides of the pond. But I'm so glad you were here with it for me this time.
It was fun, man. Yeah, hopefully we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. And I guess if there is another one, we'll see you then.